These chains are sealing my mana. Zhu grits his teeth. Am I trapped forever? Then a hand reaches out. It's L, she whispers. Master, Zhu gasps, blinded by a massive light. Before he knows it, L is gone. This massive mana field has the whole tower on lockdown. Rue looks at me like, you ready for this? Then L drops the buzzkill. Listen, you aren't the real deal. Cramming that much power into a human meat suit is basically just high-stakes possession, he says. Rue chimes in, reminding everyone the real goal is finding Shinjin's angel. Smash Jupiter, steal his juice. Simple. Elle nods, looking all intense and fired up. Whatever, she says. We've obviously got your back. You're the MVP here, Rue mutters, mostly to himself. Don't let the master die. Elle is like, yeah, I got it, chill. Rue just sighs, totally over it. Fine. Whatever. Let's go. Try not to blow it this time. Outside? Blue skies, but the butterflies are leaking straight-up evil vibes. Modius is flailing as his mana goes haywire, while Jupiter just stands there smirking, squashing Asodius like a literal bug. Poof. That creepy demon energy just blinks out. Jupiter shakes out his hands, all too easy. This body was basically made for me anyway. Jupiter starts prowling toward his target with this nasty-ass grin. He's like, all right, let's wrap this up. Mine now. Out of nowhere, Zubin's body jerks upright. Jupiter's like, wait, what the hell? The twisted, broken body just stands there, creepy. It shoots into the air like a rocket. Then bam, a massive hit drops out of the sky. Zubin's face first in the dirt, lights out. Zubin barely cheats death, activating some miracle save BS at the last second. He's squinting now, sensing the vibe is totally rancid. Just quit already, Zubin. In your dreams, pal. Zubin's brain is a mess. Enter Michael, the guy officially ruining everyone's afternoon. His face scrunches up in total, 100% disgust. Then he just starts cackling like a total lunatic. Oh, I see how it is. Zubin doesn't say a word, just delivers a brutal kick to the ribs. Playing the hero for Kim Jigu now? Jupiter grins. Cat's out of the bag and the outsiders are in the loop. I figured the ego would just fold once I moved in. Guess he's bad at math. Suddenly, a fist fueled by pure rage flies in. But Jupiter just blinks away like it's nothing. He pops up right behind her, eyes glowing like he's ready to kill. Jupiter hits her so hard, Zubin goes spinning like a top. He just starts unloading on her. It's a non-stop beatdown. Then he lunges, aiming for a kick that'll definitely snap something. Zubin's a second late and gets launched, screaming her lungs out. The color drains from her face and her eyes go completely blank. Everything gets swallowed in a massive cloud of white grit. Jupiter looks at the mess, all smug. Pathetic. Even Kim Jigu was tougher. Where'd you get the balls to come at me? He stalks closer. Not that her sob story actually matters to him, but hey, at least I learned something. Jupiter's hands catch fire with this terrifying magic. He looks at her with total hate. Class is in session. Suddenly, Jupiter's cocky smirk just disappears. Zubin's a wreck, bleeding out on the freezing dirt. Jupiter's got this sick grin again. Relax. It only hurts for a second. The final blow starts dropping. Zubin closes her eyes and whispers one last thing. Master. Then everything just stops. Total, dead silence. Zubin grits her teeth, waiting for the lights to go out. When nothing happens, she peeks. Jupiter is literally wrestling with his own arms. He's stuck there, stiff as a rock. Zubin gasps, her voice shaking. Wait, my lord? Jupiter's brain is melting. What? How? He screams. That seal was supposed to be locked tight. How are you still in there? Jupiter is losing his absolute mind. His head feels like it's exploding. The whole situation is spiraling into a dumpster fire. His face twists into this nasty, burning rage. No way. This power. It was supposed to belong to me. A massive explosion of mana hits. Before you can blink, it turns into this giant ink-black ball of shadow. Jupiter gets sucked into the void. Where the hell am I? Jigu walks out of the dark, dragging heavy-ass chains behind him. My vengeance, my messy past, my baggage. It's all mine, Jigu says. I'm the only one who carries this weight. Jigu looks him in the eye. You're getting 0, man. Jupiter just glares back, eyes burning with screw you. I'm finished giving you anything, Jupiter. Game over. Panic finally hits. Jupiter's like, no way, staring at the seal. Did you seriously break this yourself? He's losing it, screaming, I don't believe it. How could a loser like you do that? Jigu just shuts him down. Can it? Jupiter flinches, totally caught off guard by the vibe shift. Out of the shadows, chains whip out like snakes. They snare Jupiter and pin him to the floor. He's completely paralyzed. Jigu looms over him, his voice a deep growl. Jupiter. He roars, get out. The chains snap tight around Jupiter's wrists. His legs get caught next in an iron grip. Jupiter's kicking and screaming, but it's honestly pretty pathetic at this point. Kim Jigu, he snarls through his teeth. Jigu just stares him down with ice-cold, killer eyes. Jupiter starts begging. "I'll get that body one day, I swear," he yells. But as he talks, the chains just swallow him whole. Suddenly, we're back to blue skies and pretty butterflies. Jigu is just standing there, totally stunned by the 180-degree flip. "Zubin?" he whispers. She bows her head, giving him this soft smile. "You're all good now, Master Jigu." But then he sees that her eyes are two completely different colors. Jigu feels like he just took a punch to the gut. Wait, he stammers. "Did you two literally just fuse?" She stays quiet, just rocking a sly smirk. Dust starts clearing around the tower. Inside that room, man, the mana is still absolutely going nuclear. The king folds his arms. "You sure you can actually pull this off?" Sudong pipes up. "Chaos is dying down, guess they won." Lu nods. "Yeah, I finally got that thing sealed." He eyes Sudong. "Where's the tank? Thought he was with you, scouting heaven." "I gave him a shout, he'll be here soon," she replies. Through the roar of the hammer, a voice cuts through. Hang stops dead as that voice keeps talking. "Move everything to Jigu's tower. War is coming." He's floored. "Everything?" Rue just hits him with a blunt. "Yes. Yeah, every last scrap." He warns him. "This fight's suicide. One slip and we're all dead." Suddenly, a golden light catches Rue's eye. "Wait, what's that?" He stares, then finally lets out a breath. "Oh, I see." Rue is totally floored. He busted that seal on his own? Dude is straight up crazy. But then Rue remembers something, and he looks worried. Rue sighs. "We're out. Master, they're gone." He's certain Elle's glitchy soul already shredded her body from the inside out. Rue gives Ruben a heavy look. At this point, she's just counting down the minutes until it's over. "Dreaming," Ruben whispers. "Ziku, you know the meaning of mist flowers?" Ju just stands there, totally paralyzed. Ruben smiles. "Purple? That's a pure heart. Pink is for happy times," she adds quietly. "But white is death." Suddenly, he sees a rotting flower. Ruben chokes out, "Master, we loved every second with you." Two souls, one voice, finally admitting how they feel. Zigu's brain is melting. L. Zubin. She starts turning into petals, finally looking like she's at peace. Jigu is frozen. Zubin whispers, "Dying next to you. That's the biggest honor we've ever had." She looks genuinely happy. Jigu watches her fade, totally helpless. He screams no, as she gives him one final blurry look. Jigu lunges, grabbing her thin shoulders like a man possessed. "Shut up," he snaps, voice cracking. "I'm saving both of you, period." A massive fire of pure willpower just explodes in Zu's chest. He thinks, once I tame this seal's crazy power, these chains won't mean life or death. It's something way bigger. Zu's eyes burn with pure murder. If I'm right about this, boom, warnings everywhere. Alert, unstable energy, danger. Gnashing his teeth, he lets the mana rip. "Come on, G, just this one time. Throw me a bone." Zu's heart is screaming for help. Just one shot. That's all I need. System warnings are still going off like crazy. Warning, unstable energy. But then, the moment of truth. The one alert Zu was dying to see finally popped up. Awakening clear. Divine power unlocked temporarily. Zubin and El just stand there, completely blown away. "Master, is that you?" Zu's eyes are glowing with holy light. He's focused, and he's ready to wreck shop. Not enough. This power is wild, but it can't patch a broken body solo. I need supplies. He redlines it, dumping raw mana into the air. Zu grits his teeth. He'll burn his Modius ego just to fix this. No way. Jupiter was supposed to be stuck in those unbreakable divine chains. How'd he learn that so fast? The ruler's power is legit. A huge wall of mana is still wrapping the whole tower in a shield. Zu's out cold, eyes shut tight from pure burnout. The stress fades as he slowly starts waking back up. Looking around, he sees two blurry shapes he knows. Zu whispers, "Zubin?" And she finally lets out a relieved sigh. Next to her, El smiles. "Master." Suddenly, someone cusses. "That little brat." Rue is grinning. "He actually did it." Shung nods, looking proud. "Calling you disciple doesn't even cut it anymore. You're on a whole other level." Catching his breath, he sees them. Rue, Shuang, Zu sighs. "I'm good, guys." Inside, he's thinking, thank God. He actually saved both of them. Rue cuts him off. "Save the chatter. Just sleep." Zu nods. "That's the plan." "Honestly," he mumbles, "you already know, right, Master?" Madame Hishuk. She's still right there. Her thin, pale face is still on that hospital bed. Zu drags himself up. "I know." Then, he just freezes. Something's weird. A little girl is suddenly in his arms. He whispers her name. "Grunhut?" Grunhut pouts, whimpering, "Master, you're finally awake." She blinks at him, looking startled but totally glowing with joy. Super hyped, she goes for the hug. Master. Suddenly, Rue reaches out and pinches her cheek, looking super annoyed. How can you nap while we're out here struggling, Grunhut yelps. Ow, that hurts. Zhu just watches, totally speechless. Give it a rest, Rue. Brandut can't even pull himself together properly anymore. It's embarrassing. Brandut screams in pure fury. You're damn right. Then he just doubles down with a nasty-looking smirk. Even if Brandut rolled up, he'd be a total zero, just leaving that poor girl spiraling. Master, you actually deadass right now? Right on cue. Jigu drops a massive mana nuke out of nowhere. Oh, and Rue, target's locked. It hits him like a freight train, glaring with total kill intent. In a blink, Vu flips into sword mode, and Zhu? He's barely scraping himself off the floor. He charges into Hexic Forest, blade pinned right against her throat. System ping, gluttony skill is live. The tower's still wrapped in that shiny god-tier power. Hexic goes quiet, giving him those major heartfelt thank you vibes. She's shook. I had a hunch, but seeing it, total game changer. Honestly, feels exactly like my old body. Hexic realizes the juice in her veins is way beyond her prime. Pop the stats. Limb Hexoc, level 141. Strength, 212. Agility, 237. Stamina, 293. Magic, 371. Zigu's just chillin'. Go thank him, not me. Long as the squad's safe, I'm Gucci. Hexag's low-key panicking, though. What about Zubin and Elle? They're chill. Just upgraded. Zhu says Elle finally ditched her old labels. She's vibing with pure energy and hits way harder now. Zun claims she's the only angel who didn't let the Dark eat her. Plus, get this, Zubin actually snatched up Asmodeus's juice. He's some kind of half-ego freak now after soaking up that power. Finally, Hexa can actually breathe again. Seriously, I never thought we'd pull this off. I owe you big time, kid. Then Shuang just kills the mood. Cut the small talk. Save the party for later. She gets super serious. Hey, Master, we gonna talk about the massive secret or what? The old man just stands there. Creepy, quiet. Master, Chuang whispers, her voice totally shaking. He lets out this dry, crusty laugh. Man, it's been forever since you called me that. Her smile? Deleted. Listen up, cause I'm finishing the story. She starts dropping heavy names. Kronos, Gaia, Kim Sage, Lee Soo-jin, and Jupiter. She leans in, voice sounding like a ghost. And the truth about who you actually are. Jigu's heart basically stops. The 60th floor trial supposedly easy, but actually total nightmare fuel. You're buried alive in a pitch-black box for 3 straight months. They call this hellscape the chamber of mind and time. Floating in the void, Sue's brain is on overdrive. They say losing time feels like being stuck in a grave for 50 years. But for me? He smirks. This is basically my backyard. He sits down, knowing the show's about to start. This glitchy, flickering shadow starts forming in front of Zhu. A few seconds later, it's a solid person standing in the dark. It's another version of him, wrapped in heavy, clanking chains. Zhu stands up, feeling the vibe get real heavy. He glares at his twin, eyes sharp enough to cut. Jupiter just crosses his arms, sounding like a total jerk. I get it. Even in this mental trash heap, totally cut off from every human feeling. You're still obsessed with grinding solo. The double gives him this creepy I-know-everything grin. So, did you finally connect the dots? The replacement. Zhu's face twists like he's smelling something rotten. Cut to Branhut, sweating bullets hauling steel at some construction site. Back in the room, Hexuk's voice drops to a low whisper. Time to wrap up the history lesson you weren't supposed to get. Kronos, Gaia, Kim Jin, Lee Soo-jin, the Jupiter myth. She stops, staring right through him. The story of who you really are. Jigu just blinks, his brain basically short-circuiting. Your identity, Hex repeats, looking dead serious. You saw it on the 50th floor, right? Your dad, Kim Jin, or should I say Kronos, king of mankind. He did the unthinkable, iced his own old man just to snatch the crown. But somehow, Kronos became the goat of leaders. Hex sighs. He had to. The guy before him, Uranus? Absolute monster. Taking out that tyrant made Kronos a god-tier hero. Her eyes go dark. But even legends lose their minds eventually. He found chaos, this terrifying, invisible thing hiding under the world's surface. I only know the bits and pieces, Zhu mutters. He remembers the myths, how the tower was built to wreck gods and chaos, and how Kronos tried to jack all that power for himself. The idiot actually thought he could turn into a god. Zhu's face goes stone cold. The plan tanked, leaving a giant hole in reality. Gaia sucked it all up, basically rewriting the world's DNA from the ground up. Sudong smirks. Color me impressed. You actually did your homework. Hexuk jumps in. The tower only talks to people it likes. Honestly, you probably get this place better than me. She just shrugs. Whatever. At least it saves us from a snooze-fest lecture. But let's get one thing straight. Hexuk narrows her eyes. Gaia was the secret sauce in Kronos' plan. He had the power, but he missed one thing. A body tough enough to hold both god power and pure destruction. Zu nods. Yeah, I've heard rumors about that missing puzzle piece. That Gaia was the baddest thing alive, right behind AO. Hexa gives a dark nod. Spot on. Look, no body, mortal, or god tier could handle that kind of raw juice. It would have just popped them. So how'd this insane scheme actually go down? It was Gaia's weird Mother Earth vibe that flipped the script. Hex tightened her grip. She could basically zip-tie separate souls together. She turned the literal dirt she walked on into a massive jar. Zu just stood there. His brain was spinning at the sheer scale of the hustle. Sudong saw him bugging out and just started cackling. Linking sounds a lot like your own personal cheat code, doesn't it? She kept poking at him. Is your special trick not so special after all? Zu's head was a total wreck as he made a frustrated face. A nasty thought started growing. Could this just be a random thing? Or does it mean I'm related to Gaia's creepy family tree? Hex went quiet for a second, rubbing her chin like she was actually thinking deep thoughts. Finally, she opened her mouth again. We can nerd out over that later. Let's just finish the story first. Gaia played Kronos like a fiddle, letting his insults slide. She trashed gods and chaos itself because she was obsessed with this world's soul. Her voice got real low. Eventually, she didn't have a choice she was in. Hex's eyes looked all cloudy with old-school sadness. And the reason? Suddenly, everything changes. A heavy chain comes whipping out of the pitch-black dark. Zu swiped it away like it was nothing, his eyes glowing with a sudden mean fire. Jupiter gasps. Whoa! Slipped out before he could stop it. Moving a bit faster today, kid? 2 more chains came screaming through the air, aiming right for Zu's head. Zu's face went stone cold, looking like he was ready to end someone. He jumped straight up and vanished into the dark like a ghost. Every single attack got swatted away like he was just shooing a fly. Then boom, he popped up right in front of the guy. Jupiter. Zu looked like a statue. Who was Cronus to you? A legend? Sure. But as a dad, he was a total failure. Zu's eyes got sharp. I see. I definitely hit a nerve. How's it feel, being locked up by your own mother? Jupiter stopped dead. Those words hit him harder than a punch to the gut. His face twisted up, full of this dark, burning hate. He spat a nasty curse through his teeth. So those little rats actually told you everything, huh? Those absolute losers. That night, Hexuk finally let the cat out of the bag. Jupiter was the direct kid of Kronos and Gaia. Gaia only played ball with Kronos to keep her son safe. Just to save Jupiter. Her explanation was honestly pretty terrifying. Kids of big-shot rulers are just built different, destined for glory. But Jupiter? He was a straight-up monster among the gods. He got the ancient powers of both time and the earth. Hex's voice got heavy and serious. The result was pure nightmare fuel. He became this infinite bucket with no bottom, a void so huge it could swallow a whole dimension in one gulp. Maybe even worse. Her eyes looked sad. Because of that gift, a normal life was never going to happen for him. That massive power was like a wild animal he just couldn't break. Gaia's connection just snaps on whenever, Hexa added quietly. And that void inside him starts eating everything in sight. Jadung let out a jagged, mocking laugh. Maybe you've been in that kind of hell too. A memory hit Zu like a haunting nightmare. Hex saw his face change. You've seen that look before, haven't you? If you felt it, you know the horror better than anyone. Other people's feelings and thoughts, they just flood into your head, she warned him. It crashes into your brain even when you're screaming for it to stop. Ezekiel nodded. Jupiter was totally losing his mind back then. I can see how that ends badly, he muttered, looking worried. But we're talking about Kronos and Gaia. No way to save him? The problem was time, she said, leaving Zigio totally confused. Yeah, the Kronos power inheritance went completely off the rails. It kept freezing Jupiter's own life in this chaotic loop. Hex folded her arms. Healing needs time to actually move forward. Even as big-time gods, they couldn't do anything about that stall. Zale breathed out as the puzzle finally came together. So Kronos made a deal, promising Gaia some divine fix. Sudang jumped in. Exactly. She didn't have any other options. She went on. To make it work, Jupiter had to be put in a cage. Gaia actually had to lock up her own kid. Hearing that, Zio couldn't help but give a twisted smirk. Wow. What a complete dumpster fire of a plan. She clicked her tongue, totally over the drama. Truth is, Kronos never had the guts to actually control the flow of God. Back in the void, thousands of chains lunged for blood. Zigio squared up, ready to start throwing hands. He slapped those iron links away like they were just annoying bugs. Seeing that, Jupiter's face twisted in pure, raw rage. More chains surged forward like hungry snakes. Jigu took a hit that shook his soul. He ground his teeth, eyes burning with pure hate. Seeing an opening, Jupiter slammed a chain right into him. Jigu went flying, crashing hard into the dark abyss. He coughed for air and yelled a loud curse. Are you kidding me? If I knew it was going to be this messy, I would have dragged Ruinel along. Jupiter stepped forward, boots echoing in the dark. Look, let's get one thing straight so you don't get it twisted. This dude clearly hated wasting his breath on trashy explanations. I don't actually hold a grudge against my mom. I'm just sick of you losers running your mouths about her. Zhu didn't even flinch, shooting back a blunt reply. I get it, he said, skipping the small talk entirely. The one you really want 6 feet under is Kronos, right? Inside that room, the nasty truth was finally spilling out. Kronos was literally rotting, losing his freaking marbles. Sudong hammered that point home with some seriously cold intensity. The guy couldn't even trust Gaia anymore, even though she basically carried him. He became a total junkie for that divine power high. She wondered what exactly set off this total psycho obsession. Sudong guessed he started out wanting to save the world, but he just drowned in pure greed. King or not, he's just another pathetic human. She scowled hard, and the stupidity didn't stop there. Hey Jigu, ever hear the legend of Adam? Yeah, he answered, keeping it simple. That top-secret Atom project? Yeah, it was basically a blueprint for building the ultimate god-killing weapon. They say Atom was the first thing the gods ever made. Though nobody can prove he existed, he nodded anyway. Seems you did your homework, Sudong smirked. Back then, I was totally clueless. But look at you now, all grown up and bitter. She let out a sigh. Anyway, Kronos is hunting Atom now. Even if nobody knows if the guy is even real, Sudong looked lost. Even Kronos couldn't find him. To the big shots, Atom is just a myth. Her face went dark. But Kronos is obsessed for a reason. He knows who Atom really is, and it's terrifying. Zigu's heart started racing. Did he know the big secret? Sudong got serious. Atom is literally God's physical flesh, a vessel built for a total emergency. You've seen the truth, so you have to get it, she said firmly. God has no physical body. Mrs. Hugh agreed. He's just pure spirit. Atom was the backup body, a container designed to hold all that divinity. Jigu froze, reeling from this massive lore drop. That's why Atom is the perfect holy vessel. Naturally, Kronos went totally psycho trying to find him. She kept talking. But basically, he failed. And that failure pushed him straight off the deep end into madness. Whispering, Sudong said, he decided this. If I can't find Atom, I'll just build one myself. Jigu wasn't buying it. He tried to manufacture God's actual flesh? Is something that messed up even possible? Sudong tilted her head. Usually, no way. But Kronos had the perfect materials. Jigu pushed for more. And those materials were? Sudong just gave a slow, silent nod. Jupiter. Kronos used his own kid as a lab rat, the descendant of humanity's 2 strongest warriors. He saw Atom's potential in the kid and started experimenting. So, the first Atom project actually started with Kronos. Jigu just stood there, stunned into a long, hollow silence. Thinking about how cruel Kronos was, he lowered his head. You know the rest, right? The tower went up and the chaos gods fell. Remembering Gaia's desperate eyes, Jigu whispered. Gaia backstabbed him. Sudong shot back. Not a betrayal. Kronos broke his word first. Jigu realized Gaia knew what he did to Jupiter. Exactly. You can't hide anything from her. That's why she became the tower's operating system. Once complete, she fixed everything he wrecked. She made sure Kronos was buried deep within the chaos. He got dragged into the bottomless pit. Mrs. Hugh's face went pale, but Gaia was wrong. She shuddered. Kronos actually crawled out. In the dark, Jigu secretly powered up. Shadows swarmed those heavy chains, tight around Jupiter's throat. Snap. Every single link turned to dust. Jupiter just stood there, staring at the wreckage like, no way. Wait, what kind of crazy voodoo is this? Jigu, you nuts? Why are you busting my seal right now? He growled, staring at Kim Jigu like a hungry wolf. Jigu didn't flinch, his face like a rock. He stepped up and dropped a bomb. Partner up with me, Jupiter. Let's move. Jupiter blinked, his brain clearly short-circuiting right then and there. Say what? Jigu didn't stutter, doubling down on the crazy. I'll handle your revenge. Consider it done, man. But in exchange, you're on my team. Quit the shady backstabbing and join me instead. Jupiter was totally floored. This wasn't how the script went. He just stood there buffering for ages. Then finally, something just snapped in his head. His face twisted into a wild, wicked, demonic-looking grin. This creepy, bone-chilling laugh filled the room. He lunged forward, yelling like a total psycho battle maniac. If you really think you're that guy, then prove you can actually survive me first, kid. Boom. He threw a massive punch at Zigu's face. Jigu didn't even bat an eye. He just took it. In a split second, that whole attack was completely shut down. Jupiter went full nuclear, dumping a massive wave of mana. He aimed a lethal strike right at Zigu's heart. A massive, world-shaking blast ripped through everything. Meanwhile, this cosmic mystery just keeps getting way more twisted. Kronos didn't just fight Jupiter, he hijacked his body like some nasty parasite and used Babel to siphon Gaia's power. It was the ultimate clash of a perfect vessel versus a nerfed goddess, but Gaia clapped him and ripped them apart. Dimensions turned to dust, and worlds just died, total apocalypse vibes, yet for some reason, the great chaos stayed dead silent. Gaia hit the factory reset button on existence and stitched it to the tower, which is when Zu finally got it. So, hold up. You're saying the tower floors are just smashed fragments of worlds? Every floor is a broken down dimension? Su's face went totally pale. His heart skipped a beat while Sudong just smirked, saying Gaia couldn't grab every single world. Two zones were way too hot for even a goddess to handle, the divine territory and the place beyond her reach. She finally whispered the name, the spirit dimension, saying heaven and hell are basically the same crappy coin. Zu's brain was spinning and his heart was sinking. If those two are here, what kind of shady secrets are they hiding? I've got to demand the real truth from them myself. Right then, Sudong's voice dropped to a chilling, creepy whisper. Look, none of that even matters now. The scary reality is that we're stuck in a loop, history is hitting repeat. She was shaking, terrified of Kronos coming back, while Zu just muttered that the old monster needs to stay dead already. Sudong let out a nasty little laugh and asked if his dad was a handful, leaving Zu standing there totally speechless. Feeling the awkward tension, she gave a fake cough. Relax. Just kidding, because Kronos and your dad are different. They are two distinct entities, she said, her face going stone-cold serious as she pointed a finger right at him. The revived Kronos knows Jupiter's vessel is hidden on Earth. She leaned in, testing him. You know who that is, right? Zu's face went white as a sheet. His cover was blown. Then, a giant stone statue loomed through the swirling mist. The whole horizon was buried in thick, choking fog. Jupiter appeared slowly. Not bad, Kim Jigu. You've actually grown up. He smirked, calling him a failure. A failure? Zigu's brow furrowed as he glared right back at the guy. Hexup's words echoed, you're just a low-quality clone. She revealed your family was born from Gaia's weird, twisted obsession. Zu's head was pounding. This is pure madness. Then Hex reminded him about that encounter on the 50th floor. Did Kronos mention Kimijin to you? It finally clicked. Yeah, he told me the whole story, Zu replied. Those haunting words started ringing in his soul. The man who loved Sujin and raised the kids? That wasn't me. Hex just nodded. It's exactly what that monster said. Kim Jin is just a puppet king Gaia cooked up. She remembered the days before Kronos shattered. The original Kronos Gaia loved was born from her desperate longing for family. Jesus' voice went soft but steady as a rock. But there is one thing I know for a fact. Out of everyone here, you're definitely no cheap copy, she said with a conviction that practically shook the whole room. Even if your parents were just weak shadows, the child born from them changed everything. You're the one. You are the one and only Jupiter. Zyle's brain felt like it was in a blender trying to process that. Wait, hold the phone, he stammered, questioning everything. If this is legit, that means the legendary Gaia is my mother? No freaking way. My parents were just average, everyday humans. Sujun cut him off. Chill out for a sec, dude. I told you I'd explain it all bit by bit. She sighed. Kim Si-jin. It feels weird using their real names. Let's just call him Dad for now. Gaia basically wanted to clone herself and your pops to live normally. A life without crazy powers or magic junk. Just a boring, peaceful world. That was the whole dream. She said Earth was the ultimate getaway. Then her voice dropped. But the day you were born, Kronos smelled you. He immediately started plotting with the other rulers to launch a full-scale invasion of Earth. It was a total setup. And just like that, Gaia's dream of a normal life was trashed. That's exactly why the tower appeared on Earth. You getting the vibe now? Jigu frowned. So the system and players were just built to fight those creeps? Su-young nodded. Exactly. Gaia had zero choice but to hotwire Earth to the tower just to survive. But even with those defenses, Kronos' obsession was off the charts. Just like that, he completely nuked the Earth. She noted that he couldn't even tap into his full power on Earth back then, which is even scarier. Deep sorrow crossed Huck's face. In the end, Kim Jin, being a clone, had zero chance against the true Kronos. Suddenly, a forgotten memory surfaced. You probably don't remember, but back then, Kronos actually kidnapped you once. That revelation hit Jigu like a punch to the gut. Wait, so that means... He suddenly recalled a chilling memory. He could still see it, that absolutely terrifying, soul-crushing look in his eyes from way back then. That killer look, the one that said you're dead. A jagged, messed-up memory just slammed into Jigu's skull like a freight train. God, you're pathetic, Kronos spat, sounding straight up annoyed. So this is Jupiter's vessel? Finally tracked the damn thing down. Listen, kid, you've got heat, but it's locked tight. Right now, you're way too small to be of any use. He stopped, drilling holes into the shaking Jigu with his eyes. If that's it, you're literal trash. Suddenly, a beat-up guy lunges, screaming Kronos. That desperate man was none other than Kim Jin. He let out a scream that sounded like his soul was snapping. Give Jigu back to me. Lim Huk was looking rough too, her whole body just covered in nasty gashes and bruises. Otgo spat out some blood and dragged himself up. Kronos just laughed. Give him back? That's a weird ask. His face went ice cold. This brat was mine since day one. Why shouldn't I take back what's actually mine? Tell me that. It is my right. Sin's blood was boiling over as he gnashed his teeth. Kronos loomed, moving slow like a predator that knows it's already won. You think this is all you've lost? He mocked. Hardly. I'm taking back the scythe of time. It belongs to me. He looked down with that arrogant god complex, and the power too. Then, in a heartbeat, reality just cracked wide open. It was wild. Something impossible was going down. Sentin flinched, eyes popping as the whole world turned into a chaotic, swirling mess of power. Even Kronos looked confused. Tu's voice boomed. What is this? What the hell is happening? Jigu sensed a deadly, heavy shift. A massive wave of mana exploded, forcing Kronos to shield his eyes. Zhu had tapped into something way beyond logic or common sense. Shan was shaking. This is it. The absolute worst-case scenario. Zhu's brain was crashing headfirst into Kronos' twisted, dark mind. Fear swallowed Shun. This is bad. Like, really bad. Beyond catastrophic bad. Zhu's head wasn't built to handle a god's mental beating. Panic lit up in Shun's chest like a wildfire that wouldn't quit. At this rate, his soul is toast. We've got to move. Do something before there's nothing left of him to save. Hurry up. Suddenly, a familiar voice cut through the madness. Vagan spun around, looking completely lost and confused by what he just heard. His heart literally stopped. A shadow from his past was standing right there. Ga. The name felt like a ghostly whisper. The shock snapped Sin back to reality instantly. He yelled the name that had been haunting his nightmares every single night. No way. Sujin. Is it really you? Jessik's voice went razor-sharp and cold as the winter ice. The air got heavy and suffocating. Zhu, tell me, what do you actually know about these mercenaries? Give me the truth. He frowned, sounding cautious now. They take jobs from the association for the perks. It is not exactly rocket science, right? She sighed, looking exhausted. Maybe nowadays. But that is not why they were even created in the first place. Not at all. Her eyes sharpened, pinning him down. Every single word she dropped felt like a heavy piece of destiny landing on him. Those mercs? They were once your own personal shadow guards. Zhu froze. The news hit him hard. His world stopped. His body went cold as stone. A squad Kim Shin built specifically to keep you alive and breathing. He looked down, the truth crushing his chest. My father, he really did all that just for me? Memories came rushing back. Her voice shook with real pain. Tu's face flashed in her mind, lighting a fire inside her. Ghosts of the past started waking up in her head. Countless warriors bled out on the road to keep you safe. Jess tightened her fist, her resolve turning into steel. We are just mercs babysitting one little brat. That is the job. Why? Because if we don't, everything blows up. Talk about a crappy workday. Okay, let us rewind this thing. Kronos was flexing hard, dangling Jigu high in the air. A wounded son spun around, screaming Gaia in pure, desperate agony. Smoke cleared, and there was Sujin holding a baby. Shun's heart skipped a beat. His eyes were shaking. Wait, what the heck? Shun was shaking, unable to believe his own eyes. Sujin gasped for air, choking out his name through a mess of tears. Sin's jaw hit the floor. Son, she stuttered, barely a whisper. Why are you here? And Yuzin? This really sucks. His legs gave out as he limped toward them. Sin gripped his scythe hard and spun around, roaring out with everything he had. Just pure rage and pain. Run, Sujin. I've got this. Absolute terror for them was burning deep in his eyes. Protect Zhu, he begged. Sujan froze, eyes wide with horror. She screamed, trying to stop the nightmare from happening. June, behind you! Sin's face twisted in alarm. Tensi whipped his head back, searching for the threat. Kronos tore through the smoke like a demon. He lunged, claws ready to grab. His face was pure, bulging fury, eyes popping out. He looked like a nightmare, teeth gnashing, radiating death. I need that scythe and my godhood. Give it to me. Chains exploded out like a glowing web. They slammed into Kronos, locking him down. He roared, thrashing against the cold iron links. Kronos' veins were popping with rage. He growled like a trapped animal, interfering in my plans again, every single time. He's staring daggers through Sinan's mangled, bloody face. totally unhinged while screaming at Sujan. Gaia. Sujan just sticks Kronos midair. He's howling like a god who just got demoted. How much longer, Gaia? It's the only play to save Jupiter. Bloodshot eyes popping. Give me the juice, I'll fix him! Sujan's icy voice shuts down his garbage. That ain't Jupiter, pal! Kronos freezes. Like, wait, what? She doesn't say a word, just moves in with a terrifying look of finality. Jigu, hanging there, floats down through that nasty gray fog. Sujan gives a sweet smile, catching him while her soft voice stays tough as nails, totally unbreakable. This isn't Jupiter. This kid is Kim Jigu. Her thin fingers brush his sleeping face while she whispers some real deep love stuff. Sujan pulls both kiddos in close. She's staring Kronos down, no fear, just raw power ringing out in her voice. I'm not Gaia. My name is Lujin. His eyes go wide, pupils shrinking. No way, that is impossible, he stutters. Suddenly, Kronos' face twists, veins popping while he shakes like a leaf. Seeing them in that glow, the dude's brain finally snaps. A massive roar of pure blind rage rips out of his throat. Drop it right now, Gaia. You'd blow divine power on that kid? In your trashed state, that energy is straight up going to rip you to shreds. Shin is watching this horror show, voice shaking as he yells, Sujin! Suddenly, he goes ghost white, veins thumping hard against his neck. He grabs his chest, letting out a painful, gut-wrenching scream. Sin grips his scythe, body rattling before he finally hits the floor. Even through the massive agony, he looks up with blurry eyes at his family. He chokes out their names, voice totally broken. Sujan Jigu. Sujan stays quiet, head down, giving a sad, tiny smile. So sorry, Jigu. Tears start rolling as she hugs that little kid tight against her heart. Her voice gets louder, trembling with this heavy, soul-crushing weight. I can't stay with you guys much longer, my babies. I love you. After those final words, Sujan's eyes slowly drift shut. Her lashes move as one single tear rolls down her cheek, a quiet picture of pain that words can't even touch. Her voice is just a shaky mumble. Forgive me, Juby. Right then, a massive, crushing darkness eats everything up. Right in the middle, Jupiter is curled up in a tiny, fragile ball. A soft, flickering light wraps around his small, helpless body. Kronos is just standing there, paralyzed by pure horror, eyes bloodshot and popping, jaw hitting the floor. He's frozen in total shock. Nearby, Shun's clutching his heart, eyes wide as he watches this literal nightmare unfold. Sujan just smiles, looking down all sweet at those two sleeping kids. Her gentle voice cuts through the dark like a tiny beam of hope. Just hang in there for me a bit longer. She didn't even see his totally spaced-out face. She just kept rambling about all the messy stuff from that day. Lee Sujan was down to die to save him, but then Kim Shan suddenly jumps into the fight. Even though he's basically a walking corpse, he ignores Sujan's shocked look and moves with desperate grit. Watch this! He gave it every ounce. A memory hits her and her voice just completely cracks. He swapped his soul and life for Sujan. Shun jumped in, pulling them into one last hug. Covered in dirt, he still looked proud. Things got quiet. He stopped Kronos just in time. Then comes that memory of him literally turning into dust. He hangs his head, voice a wrecked whisper. The ultimate price. Sin was gone for good. Suddenly, the watch on Sage's wrist glows. Divine markings shift, clicking perfectly with Zu's hand. Everyone just stands there in silence. His lips are moving, but nothing's coming out. His eyes are a mess of raw feelings. Zu clenches his fist, shaking with pure anger. Still quiet, she sighs and looks over at Shuang. Her voice is soft, but carries a heavy, dark truth. Trying to be a god in a dying body has a price. Even after Sin's big move, she was still broken. She gives a tiny nod, looking eerily calm. That magic cure for your mom? That was the payment. Jigu finally snaps out of his daze. He leans in, voice shaking a bit. So my mom knew the whole time, right? Zu's forehead wrinkles as he shakes his head. Nah, there's something way more vital going on. He imagines Zuzong's beautiful, smiling face. His voice shakes with doubt and total confusion. Tell me, what's the real deal with Zuzong anyway? The elder's eyebrows pull together in a frown. Straight up, she drops the bomb. She's human, just a girl, nothing special. Thinking about them together years ago, she sighs, voice getting deeper. Sujin and Shin just wanted to live like normal people. Remembering Dung, her voice gets smooth as silk. Their love made Kim Dong a regular human kid. Jigu looks down, his answer barely a whisper. She ignores his sad vibe and gets back to the point. Does Lu Jin remember the whole story? She stops, eyes getting dark before the big finish. Honestly, I haven't a clue. Her memory is toast. Then her tone goes cold. She winced like those memories actually hurt. Maybe a tiny piece of her is still buried in there. Sua just grit his teeth, nodding like the pain was personal. Dude's face is a complete dumpster fire of confusion. Look, she says, I'm about to drop some straight-up cursed family tea on you. Hexuk's voice cuts through Jigu's emo trip like a buzzsaw. So, did that finally snap you out of your little daydream, or what? Silence hits the room like a lead weight. Pure awkwardness. He just sits there moping while Hexuk sighs, her voice sounding like a ghost in the wind. Crickets. Still lost in the sauce, huh? Jigu doesn't say a word, just stares at the floor, looking like a literal thunderstorm. After a century of silence, Jigu finally mutters to nobody. This world is a straight-up trash fire. Yeah, my parents basically broke the world. He looks down, voice sounding like he's swallowing broken glass. But they saved Earth. One last save-the-day move before they checked out. Ziku stops shaking and tries to find his voice again. That day is stuck on repeat in his brain. It hurts to even say it. My sister, my mom, and me. We were drowning back then. He's shaking now, staring at nothing. Why didn't anyone give a damn? We weren't even asking for a lot. The room goes dead, like the air itself just quit. Nobody says a word. Zigu looks right at the lens. Crazy, right? Those mercs took a bullet for me. Now I'm stuck with this debt forever. He's practically vibrating with rage. Hexa cuts him off, eyes clamped shut like she's fighting back a whole ocean of sadness. Zip it. Seriously. Zigu's jaw hits the floor. Her cold vibe just completely blindsided him. She stares him down, her voice getting ice cold. Look, your feelings matter, but saying this out loud? It's gotta suck. Hexa bites her lip, then forces out an apology. Sorry for hitting you with all this heavy, soul-crushing crap, kid. Zigu's eyes go dark, trying to hide the wreckage inside. She can't even look at him. She just shuts her eyes. The air gets way too heavy. All you can hear is one long, miserable sigh. To be real, even we've forgotten basically everything. He's floored. Hexuk just sighs and finally starts the actual story. I just realized. Someone definitely did a Control-Alt-Delete on our brains. She stares off into nowhere, voice all raspy. Li Shujin wasn't deleted. But the important stuff? Totally gone. Wait, Chairman OTU too? He asks, totally lost. She plays it off. Yeah, pretty much a carbon copy of my situation. Whatever. His son, OT6, helped your family, one way or another. Zigu just rubs his chin, deep in thought. Not sure if OT6 planned it, but those glitchy leftover memories definitely pulled some strings in the background. His brain is spinning like a chaotic mess. Right. OT6 was my dad's best friend. Makes sense. With all this madness, I gotta wonder how much does OT6 actually know? It hits me like a lightning bolt. My eyes go cold, cold enough to cut. But honestly, deep down, I'm trying to pretend that isn't even a possibility. No. The actual head-scratcher is why Gaia decided to rewrite everyone's brains in the first place. Two women flash in my mind for a second. My brain is a total wreck, like someone threw a brick through a window. Even if Gaia and my mom are technically two different people, my whole family was just a project of hers, so why would she choose this path when she's basically a god? Just thinking about it makes my blood boil. It's like I'm choking on my own anger. That one call she made dragged my family through literal hell for years. Sudong's voice snaps me out of it. Maybe she just wanted you to have a normal life, for once. She leans back, sounding bored out of her mind. Gaia just wanted her grandkids to have a plain, boring life. She feels me staring and looks away, her voice trailing off. Whatever. Forget I said anything. Just a theory, she mutters. I don't say a word. I just stare, completely and utterly lost. She sees my face, pauses, and then finally just spills the truth. I bet Gaia and Li Shujin were both chasing the exact same thing. They teamed up to bury Jupiter forever, and they locked everyone's memories in the vault with him. Looking back at the fallout, her voice drops to a whisper that feels way too heavy to be just words. It was all a setup to bury the truth. Basically, it's the same energy as a penalty from the tower. I go totally quiet. I'm doubting everything. Finally, I manage to choke out a single question. Okay, fine, I get it. But why now? Why is all this crap hitting the fan today? Why did Gaia pick this exact second to break the seal? Then Hexuk jumps in, cool as a cucumber, with the answer. Look, we started patching your memories back together the second you cleared the 50th floor. Goose looks like his eyeballs are gonna pop, but she's just chill, explaining he finally leveled up to real warrior status. That is why Gaia finally decided it was time to drop the tea and spill every last secret. Without giving him a second to breathe, Hexok's eyes go full predator mode. This whole system? It literally exists just for you. Those final words hit Jigu like a high-speed freight train. His pupils go tiny, and his jaw hits the floor. He is so completely wrecked, he is speechless. Basically, kid, you are the freaking main character of this entire world. A beat later, he is brooding, spiraling deep into some dark, heavy thoughts. If D heard this, he would die laughing at how cringy it is. Jigu can literally see him losing it right now. Tears streaming, barely choking out some trash talk. You, the hero? Best joke yet. He shook the thought off. This system was his destiny. Or maybe this power was not meant for him alone. Every thought vanished except one name, Jupiter. A massive monolith stood under blue skies, etched with some glowing celestial light. White smoke spiraled through the dark while the heavens roared. Battered and bruised, Jupiter finally let go of a soul-deep burden. Chilling in the haze, he spoke with haunting clarity. So that is how it all ends, huh? Through the mist, Jigu approached his blade, hand tight. Jupiter just lay there. In the end, I still could not take you down. All of Jigu's rage just evaporated, replaced by a quiet, heavy sorrow. Jigu stood still, taking in every jagged, painful word Jupiter spat. Seal me or kill me, whatever, it is your right, he whispered. But Jigu just stood there, letting the heavy silence do the talking. Finally, Jigu broke the stillness. His voice was low, heavy with hard-earned courage. You once said, I am you, and you are me. He remembered that arrogant, punchable smirk clearly. A finger pointed at his chest, declaring, I am you. Back then, Jupiter had laughed at Jigu's shocked face. And you are me, he had said with cold confidence. Looking at the broken man, Jigu finally clapped back. Wrong. I am me, and you are just you. He reached out, dead serious. I will say it once more, he declared with steel. Jupiter stiffened, his eyes filled with total confusion. A flicker of annoyance began to bubble up. Let's team up, Yubi. Right here, right now. Suddenly, the system pinged with a final notice. Trial cleared, the cold machine voice announced. Slowly, the massive doors began to creak open. A low rumble echoed through the absolute silence. Across the ancient stone path, polished leather boots came to a sharp halt. A powerful figure stepped forward with total confidence. Floor 60 of the tower, at last. Jigu exhaled, finally free from that nightmare. Under a disguise, he squinted at the annoying sun. 3 months felt more like a whole year, honestly. Suddenly, Brandhut's voice chimed in, making Jigu freeze. Master, she panted, desperate for attention before the world collapsed. Master, it is an emergency. You have to come right now. Just as her frantic voice shattered the air, Jigu spotted a massive pillar of light. Total chaos as the crowd surged. War finally reached L. Every face in the mob was a mask of cold hostility. Eyes glued to the blinding light, just waiting for the green light to start killing. Brandhut whipped his head toward the exit in a panic. His voice was trembling with pure, unadulterated dread. He urged them forward, fearing a single second meant death. It is bad. We need to bail immediately. The girl's desperate plea echoed in his mind, yet Jigu stood rooted to the spot. His gaze darkened, mind churning with silent calculations. The flames of war were already swallowing the entire region. He stayed silent, his lips pressed into a thin line. He stood like a ghost, burying every emotion deep inside. Suddenly, Jigu tilted his head back toward the sky. A smug, triumphant smirk curled his lips. Everything was going perfectly. Under the glowing sky, she eyed the monolith with dread. He prepared for the floor 68 trial, ignoring his watchers. He gave the tower a simple, calm nod, knowing this was the only chance to finally surpass Jupiter. Her brow furrowed, eyes flashing with worry as she stepped forward. But master, before she could finish, Jigu coldly cut her off. Will you be fine alone? His voice rang out sharp. Facing that monster head-on is a suicide mission. Standing before the gate, bathed in the glow of ancient stone, he slowly turned his back on the tower to face them. His expression hardened into steel as he began to speak. This is a burden I must carry alone. And Jigu continued, voice chillingly calm, slowly laying out his dark prophecy for them. He didn't blink, just spat facts with that you're all gonna die vibe that sends chills down your spine. Any second now, a whole swarm of players is gonna descend on L like a bunch of locusts on a buffet. Their faces just went blank, totally paralyzed because they knew the body count was about to get real ugly. Suddenly, Rogers Hahn's grumpy mug pops into his head, and he realizes he's got to spill every secret he's been digging up. Iron Kavan and all those greasy foreign guilds, they're coming. Jigu just stood there, face like stone, dropping truth bombs that felt like a punch to the gut. Look, from here on out, it's us against the world. And you thought your Tuesday was a dumpster fire. Try dealing with a massive end-of-the-world portal hovering over Seoul. He squints, thinking, okay, something here definitely smells like trash. Quiet. Time for the grill. So, if Rohan's signal went dark ages ago, why are you just now mentioning it? Caught red-handed, panic flashes across his face as he frantically tries to pull a halfway believable lie out of his butt. One look at Sudong's big, dumb, innocent face and Zigo actually feels bad. Sorry, kid, he thinks, giving a mental my bad. Totally slipped my mind. Besides, that's like prehistoric news, right? Gotta run. He pivots the convo fast before it gets even weirder. He shoves his doubt deep down and puts on his best tough guy warrior face. Anyway, here's the deal. Stay put and guard L. Don't let anyone touch the place until I make my big comeback. Brunhead just stands there, scratching his head like a lost puppy. He's looking around, trying to find the right words. Boss, I've got a weird feeling I've seen this movie before. Jigu goes full main character mode, no talking back. He shuts the whole conversation down with a don't even go there look. Talk's over. We're on a clock here. Granhart, you ready to show off those fancy new gains? She balls up her fist instantly. This is literally what she was born for. You can see the pure fire in her eyes. She's down. No questions asked. Vine and her both leveled up during that crazy trial, and now the loot's finally dropping. The system's going absolutely berserk with alerts. He remembers that massive rush of power the moment the ego evolution finally kicked in. Brandhood and Vi are basically turning into gods. Meanwhile, Ziku's scanning the area like a high-end hitman on duty. Gotta find a spot without any annoying people watching. He mumbles under his breath, checking the shadows. We're gonna rip a hole in reality and warp straight to the spot. Grandheart stands tall, ready to roll. Loud and clear, Master. Let's get this party started. Then, bam. Zigu's gone, leaving nothing but a fading puff of smoke. Over on the news, the anchors are basically having a collective meltdown on live television. Breaking news. A massive space rift is literally eating the sky over Seoul. It looks like a trippy purple nightmare out there. Chadford Tower is glowing like some creepy alien beacon. 2 months of silence, and the association is officially losing its mind. Red cliffs burning under a sky made of actual fire. A heavy boot hits the dirt. Great, we totally screwed this up. He stares out at the wasteland, eyes cold. We're just walking in circles, and of course the snacks are totally gone. A wall of pulsing, blood-red light cuts off the whole path. The knight in silver just stares into that swirling void, silent. Fantastic, some magic wall just trapped us in here. So much for scouting the area that's officially a bust. They're trudging through this creepy, freezing mist valley, going deeper into the middle of nowhere. Then, his eyes just pop. Something's not right. He spins around, losing it. Guild leader, look out! There's something moving up there. The leader snaps to, hand already on his sword. Seriously? He growls. Not these zombie bastards again. He barks out an order, his eyes darting through the shadows. Target locked! Blades out! Get ready for war! But as he turns his head, the leader just goes stiff. His jaw literally hits the floor. He's looking at something that simply should not be real. Under the weird, flickering light of the valley, this long, silky hair drifts like a ghost, cutting through the heavy, dead air. Then comes the sound. Soft, steady footsteps echoing through the silence of the foggy canyon. It's moving slow, like the shadows themselves are waking up. The whole squad drops low, hearts pounding against their ribs. No one's blinking. Everyone's staring at this thin, haunting silhouette just standing there in the pitch black. The leader blinks, his fear turning into pure confusion. Wait, that's a human? I know that face from somewhere. Suddenly, the light bulb goes on. His face twists as a wave of absolute dread hits him like a truck. You. His voice is shaking. From the Miss Flower Guild, that's Shinju Bisao. But then, Modia, if that's even her, just tilts her head and gives this sickeningly sweet, deadly smile. Hey there. He trips over his own feet, his brain a total wreck. How? How is any of this even possible? So, word is you ghosted everyone months back. She just looks down, acting all shy like she's trying to cook up some lame excuse. Yeah, let's just go with it, is complicated. Then, bam, her voice gets dead serious. It is cold enough to freeze your blood. Anyway, new deal as of right now, you losers all belong to me. The boss just stares, brain totally short-circuiting. Like, wait, for real? Seeing him look that pathetic makes her actually sigh. She scratches her face, acting like she is actually putting some major brain power into planning her next move. A second later, Modius acts all bashful, like some shy high school girl, whispering like she is just making a super polite and humble request. Hey, if I start talking crazy while I am beating your asses, just try to ignore it, cool? But as soon as she says that, the whole crew loses it. They are staring at her like she is totally cracked and needs a straitjacket. What are you even talking about? Then, her hair literally catches fire, glowing bright purple and cutting through the shadows like hell. Next thing you know, a heart-tipped tail pops out, twitching like it is straight up laughing at them. Covered in this thick purple smoke, she just flashes the meanest, most dangerous smirk. This massive wave of dark energy hits everyone, making the air feel like lead. She leans on her hand, smiling all sweet while her horns glow through the haze. She whispers with a voice so evil it gives everyone instant goosebumps. Go ahead, scream as loud as you want. Right then, the king spreads his giant wings across the horizon. Every single flap basically shreds the air around him. Jigu messes with his silver hair, looking down at the total bloodbath like some bored god watching ants. Chilling on the monster's head, he just sighs. Like this whole war is just an annoying distraction. Then his hair goes white. Ugh, I really cannot stand this look. Suddenly, he gets a bad flashback of Satan's long white hair. Ziku squints, looking actually suspicious for a second while he tries to figure it out. Is it that body I took back from Shinzubin? That human dude had the same silver hair, didn't he? They fly over mountains that are literally being blown to bits right now. Through all the loud war noise, he sounds way too calm. Huh, looks like things are actually working out for once. He looks down at all the beat-up players like a king judging his pathetic followers. Zigu smirks, pretty proud of his own genius move. Split them up and let them bleed. Easy. Switch to Modius, who is now using his hair like some kind of crazy whip. He grabs the guy and yanks him into the air, keeping everyone else in line without breaking a sweat. Efficiency, baby. Elsewhere, L powers up and starts literally strangling the life out of some poor player. Seeing that, he gives a low whistle. Next, L is going to find and wipe out whatever trash is left. From way up there, Zigu watches the massacre looking like he is bored out of his mind. He is checking his mental scoreboard, judging how his little puppets are doing. Too smooth. Things are going way too well. But honestly, stories like this never end without a massive headache. Right on cue, this massive blast of weird energy hits his radar. These guys walk out of the light looking like nightmare fuel. Every step they take just screams on your knees, losers. Looking at the mob forming way off in the distance, Zigu growls, finally. Out front is Belelfigor, looking so ready to kill he might actually set the whole planet on fire. He stands there, silhouetted against the bright glare, just a dark shape warning of a total disaster. Then some guy in the back starts laughing like a movie villain. Leviathan just rolls his eyes, looking like he is totally done with life in general. But once that hood falls back, he looks so freaky and demonic it is actually kind of gross. Right in the middle of town, a huge gold portal opens up, looking like it is going to eat the sky. Inside, players are getting fried, eyes rolling back as they shake in total, soul-crushing pain. A quick flash of light cuts through, ending the guy's misery with one clean hit. Elle holds her sword, watching the body drop with ice-cold eyes. She lets out a huge sigh, trying to just shake the whole thing off. She looks around sharp, then stops for a second like she is starting to have second thoughts. Everything's cool now, right? Then boom, this voice cuts the silence, whispering her name from the shadows. Freaking out, Elle spins around, hand instantly reaching for her blade as she faces the sound. Walking out from a field of dead soldiers, some general in heavy armor just strolls forward. He stares her down with these icy eyes like things are just starting. Dude starts stroking his beard, looking at her like she's a total legend. Killer job. My side of things is completely handled as well. She totally panics, tripping over her words. Nah, man, you did the heavy lifting. The general just laughs. I'm not even one of your crew. Suddenly, his smile vanishes. Look, I asked way too much of Morningstar. I should be the one thanking you. The general drops to one knee right on the frozen dirt. Stiff as a board, he starts begging like a desperate fanboy. Please, you've got to save us. She stays quiet, just staring him down. Suddenly, Elle's gut starts screaming bloody murder, a sharp, jagged warning. This massive wave of raw energy is hauling tail toward them. She looks at the wall, eyes narrowing in suspicion. What kind of dumpster fire is happening over there? Her brain starts redlining, thoughts bouncing around like pinballs. The demon invasion. It's actually going down. Her stomach drops as the truth hits. Her heart literally skips a beat. This is way worse than the rumors. The sheer amount of them? It's freaking mental. Even from miles away, you can see the dark army. She feels like someone's squeezing the air right out of her lungs. Total cold dread hits her soul. At least 10 god tiers and 3 actual demon kings. We're toast. She's basically ready to give up. Her head's ringing like a funeral bell. Poor Jungen. That guy doesn't stand a chance. Through all that nasty ash and smoke, this dark shadow starts floating through the air like a literal grim reaper. Brandhut is just hovering over a literal carpet of dead players. He's looking at the gore like it's high-end art. This nasty, creepy grin stretches across his bony face. He's just sitting there waiting for the next act. Boots crunch on the ground, then a voice rolls in. Hard work pays off. Pretty slick results, my guy. Brand bows deep, hand over his empty chest. I'm just here to serve your dark vision, boss. He looks up, staring into the abyss like Votus. Check it, the sneaky Duke finally makes his grand entrance. Votus stands there looking like frozen steel. His voice makes the air feel heavy as lead. Grab the bodies. Don't mess them up, either. That little angel brat just bailed. Go. Brandhut just gives a sharp, obedient nod. Got it, doing it right now, boss. The zombie army starts shuffling into gear. Those broken corpses start bowing in this weird silence, cleaning up the mess from the massive player bloodbath. But our main guy? Totally chill. He just stands there watching those losers run for the hills into the mist. A funky glow lights up his empty eyes. Vi just stands there like a statue in the fog. Then a clock rings out of nowhere, making him jump. He's shaking like a leaf. Votus spins, looking lethal. He's thinking, wait, what? Then this dark stain starts leaking out from the side of everything. Smoke starts swirling, and his gut says something big is about to crash his party. 2 feet step out of that thick black fog. Each heavy step rattles the ground. Everything turns a sickening purple. Zipa smirks like a total movie villain. You can tell he's got a wicked, calculated plan. His eyes glow purple like he's the king of darkness. Seeing that face, Votus just loses it. He starts laughing like it's all a joke. He lets out this mean, mocking chuckle. Like Zeppa showing up is just some pathetic, low-budget circus act. Finally, he talks nice and slow. He's dripping with sass. Long time no see, he sneers, knowing it's a trap. Zipa's just grinning, looking totally self-satisfied. That smirk says he's been dreaming about this moment forever. Suddenly, Zeppa just goes up in flames, roasting the room. He clenches his fist, looking like a terrifying fire god. An arm punches through the massive firewall. He's decked out in molten armor, ready to break everything. He blasts forward with insane power. He's like a living fire missile, charging ahead with enough heat to melt the air and tear reality open. Zipa swings his blazing blade, his voice full of heat and fire. "You look like hot trash!" He's screaming with pure hate, madness in his eyes, one of those 16 gods charging like a rabid dog. But the boss just stands there, cool as ice. He acts like this is just some lame amateur theater. "Yeah, well, you look like garbage too." Then his cracked black eye snaps wide open. His eyes are glowing a straight-up demonic red, brimming with pure, unadulterated rage. Under a sky that looks like it's literally bleeding, fire from hell starts raining down on those jagged mountain peaks. The air is turning into a total furnace. It is dead-ass hell on Earth. Then, boom, a massive explosion rocks the entire world like the planet itself is screaming. Meanwhile, 60 floors up, these massive skyscrapers are just chilling against a blue sky that looks way too peaceful to be real. Right underneath them, a rift just rips wide open, swirling with this creepy, freezing energy. But hold on, the whole gate starts falling apart like a cheap toy. The lights go out, leaving nothing but this bone-chilling, heavy silence behind. Jigu is just standing there, totally frozen. You can see the pure confusion and doubt hitting him hard. He honestly can't even process what just went down. Like, seriously? What the hell? Brow furrowed. He's out here questioning if this failed gate is even real life. Why won't this stupid portal just stay open for 5 seconds? Brunhut's face is looking pretty dark, too. His voice drops, sounding heavy with serious anxiety. He can't take his eyes off the spot where the rift just vanished into thin air. I don't get it. The link was solid just a few seconds ago, but now, the signal is totally dead. This wave of cold dread just washes over Jigu. His heart is thumping like a drum against his ribs. Something is messed up bad. I can't reach any of the egos. Is the whole connection just trashed? Maybe it's because we've been apart for way too long. Jigu's eyes go sharp with pure resolve. No more waiting around. I'm going in myself. He's just praying this crazy gamble doesn't end in a total massacre. Way across the void, that tower is just sitting there like a massive, jagged grave. 2 guys are squaring off. The tension's so thick, it's about to snap like a wire. Through the mist, Leviathan is standing there with that smug, punchable grin. "Well, look who it is. Back for more?" he mocks. He lets out this creepy, rattled laugh while he spits out the name Lucifer. Zigu's face stays ice cold, his glare basically cutting through stone. Suddenly, this violent red aura just explodes all around him. Jigu mumbles, "I worked way too hard to get this juice back." His veins are literally popping as his claws come out, but his voice stays terrifyingly chill. "And I really hate wasting my power on literal garbage like you." Huge horns sprout out and these black wings rip through the air. Staring a hole through that smug idiot's face, his words hit like frozen daggers. "Take this as your one and only parting gift, Leviathan." He balls his hand into a fist as dark, destructive energy starts swirling in his palm. His voice rings out, and honestly, it's enough to chill your blood to the core. "I'm gonna rip every single tooth out of your stupid head." Under that burning sky, the massive tower is basically stabbing the heavens. The very peak of it is glowing, like it's threatening to crack the whole fabric of space wide open. Shadows are dancing on the golden glass like ghosts in the sunset. Sudong is just swirling his wine, sounding cold as a frozen lake. "So, what's the play, Ban? Give it to me straight." Ban is standing right behind him, keeping his reply low, sharp, and strictly business. "Leviathan and Lord Lucifer actually made a pact. Honestly, for us, that's the best-case scenario." He stops for a second, eyes darting behind his glasses like he's second-guessing something. "But down there, Leviathan is going full beast mode, a giant sea monster ready to swallow the whole world. But Jigu? Dude doesn't even blink. He's just standing his ground while the whole world goes absolutely insane around him. Then he just smirks this totally savage, "you're dead" grin. His eyes are flashing like a fresh blade. Suddenly, a huge explosion rips up from Zigu's feet, turning the ground and the air to dust. The villain just smiles and pulls back his hand like everything is going exactly to plan. But when the smoke clears, Jigu is still there with those massive wings, giving off serious god-tier vibes. In a heartbeat, Jigu flaps his wings and turns into a red blur streaking across the sky. Leviathan is trying to track him from the ground while Jigu just floats up there like a god. His gaze is razor sharp. Not a single move down there is getting past his predator eyes. But then the monster gets this weird, twisted smile, like he's holding onto some terrifying secret. A split second later, you see a flash of pure panic in his eyes before the darkness swallows him. High up, Zigu's wings are wide against a sky that's literally on fire. Leviathan starts laughing, this nasty, mocking laugh that feels like a curse vibrating through the air. He narrows his eyes, getting all sarcastic and mean. Starting to look a little chicken, aren't we, Lucifer? Since Jigu isn't saying a word, Leviathan just keeps poking him. Is this really your big strategy, oh great demon king? Hiding behind your shield and flying off like a scared little bird. Jigu just looks at him with zero emotion. He's so chill it makes the villain's trash talk look incredibly weak. Then, out of nowhere, thousands of glowing red energy blades just manifest in thin air. They start circling Leviathan like a pack of hungry wolves that haven't eaten in a week, just waiting to rip him apart. The whole atmosphere starts screaming as the sky is literally torn to pieces by the sword strikes. A deafening, ear-piercing noise echoes across the entire battlefield. All the blades dive at once, aiming right for the monster's heart. Red streaks are flying everywhere. It looks like a total cinematic display of power. Leviathan just laughs, slowly putting his hands up like he's actually looking forward to the explosion. These massive water dragons burst out of his hands, glowing like they're haunted by the deep sea. In a flash, Zigu's energy swords slam right into the water dragons. The impact is so loud it shakes the sky and covers everything in a thick cloud of dust. Right in the middle of the fight, every single dragon manages to catch a sword in its mouth as they strike. Everything hits a dead stop, like a glitched game while they hold the line. Zigu's face hardens, eyes turning into chips of pure, jagged ice. Then he just starts cackling, finally figuring out the whole stupid, pathetic prank. "All right, what'd you just gulp down, you freak?" He stares at the laughing nutjob, whispering under his breath. Trying to connect the dots, he growls, "You've got way too much energy to burn off." Suddenly, Leviathan's trash talk slices through his head like a serrated blade. The vibe gets heavy, thick enough to actually choke on. "Problem, Lucifer? Thought you said you'd snap my claws like toothpicks?" Leviathan shifts, his voice a straight-up death threat. "Then come get some." His face twists instantly, eyes glowing toxic blue while veins pop out everywhere. Teeth out, he's snarling like a straight-up beast. "Whatever, I'll just handle this mess myself." Leviathan goes full Hydro Beast, launching into the clouds like a liquid rocket and leaving his threads behind to flutter in the void. He's spamming black spears at Jigu, fueled by nothing but pure, messy rage. Every hit makes the air shake with heavy, raw power. Shockwaves rip across the whole tower, making the world tilt. Massive crashes echo as the entire structure starts to give up. Ban's just watching the carnage, looking like he's actually bored to death. He's acting like the apocalypse is just a boring Tuesday. Shields toast in 10 minutes tops. Shuang's just sipping wine, totally unbothered by the chaos or that 10-minute clock. Yeah, that's the worst-case scenario. She looks back, asking, "So, how's our little side project doing?" He clicks his glasses with a smooth, calculated finger flick. "Everything is going exactly as I thought," he says, sounding super full of himself. It's tense, but Van acts like it's all scripted. Lucifer is stalling perfectly. Our little puppet show is actually working out. Shuang giggles, swirling that gold wine like a total villainess. A show? Please. Leviathan is just a brainless brute, honestly. She remembers Zoo's temper, her voice going sharp and freezing, acting weak just to bait him, so predictable and honestly pathetic. Seriously, I've never seen a plan this messy before. She laughs to herself, and yet, the stupid thing actually worked. He just grins back. Well, we just know his tiny brain way too well. Ban watches the fight, clicking his tongue like a total hater. Lucifer's hoarding energy while Leviathan is just burning through his. Before finishing his genius talk, he stops, spotting something that actually catches his interest. His calm voice echoes, "Get ready. It is go time, people." Magic circles flare up, making the air feel totally suffocating. He looks up, eyes cold enough to freeze the sun. "Let's light this fuse. Flip the switch on that magic circle." Shuang drops the act. Her face goes dead serious and lethal. Her purple eyes flare with a killer vibe, ready to explode. From the outside, the floor starts glowing with a blinding, creepy light. Then boom, the tower blows, sending debris into the sky. That earth-shattering blast makes the actual heavens shake with fear. Mid-fight, Zeppa freezes, snapping his head toward the massive boom. His eyes go wide with total shock and alarm. Elle spins around Hart, pounding on her ribs in a total panic. She whispers, "Is it really going down right now?" Unlike everyone else, Modius just stands there, stone-cold and still. His sharp eyes scan the fire, looking for one single weakness. Now the whole tower is buried in a sea of hellfire. The inferno is out, devouring reality like a god's massive temper tantrum. Boom! Magic chains slam shut around the tower in a heartbeat. Trapped in a ghostly net, Sudong hovers in the chaos. Her icy gaze scans the area, missing zero details. Even Jigu senses the shift. "Oh, look who's back! Done playing house with your little fans?" Crack! The barrier shatters, leaking out blinding, dangerous light. Suddenly, a massive jet of water pierces through like a liquid missile. A raspy voice cuts through, making the air heavy as lead. Your scent is totally wrong." Her eyes freeze in pure terror. Leviathan rises. The beast's true form towers behind her. Massive scales coil around the structure like a living, breathing nightmare. Dragon eyes flare, sharp fangs glowing with hunger. A thunderous roar rips out, sounding like a final death sentence. Sudong just stares back, cold and totally unfazed by the monster. She handles the pressure with total boss energy. "Are you even human anymore?" A smirk pulls at her lips. This whole thing is just a bad joke. Staring down those prehistoric fangs, she stays chill, dropping a question with deadly calm. Feeling chatty? Newsflash, I'm not the target. The monster stops. Come again? Boom. Instant transmission. Rue is already standing right behind the dragon. He's so fast the air didn't even have time to scream. Sensing the threat, the beast whips its head around, locking eyes instantly. Rue lets out a cocky laugh, sharp as a blade. "Told you, Leviathan. I'm yanking every single tooth you've got left." Rue drops the snap and it is game over. Pop. The Leviathan's dome just straight up detonates like a giant, gross water balloon. Total ocean gore everywhere. One creepy, glowing eyeball is just bobbing in the soup. Then the water starts doing this weird, twitchy thing. Healing factor? Check. Life force is surging through the puddle, and that fancy dragon head pulls itself back together, looking mad, suspicious. Eyes darting. Brain lagging. It is thinking, what kind of cheat code is this? Lucifer should have been running on empty 10 minutes ago. Body is back, and Leviathan is beyond tilted. You can see the panic setting in when it hits him. Did this dude actually find his old god-tier stats? The beast tries to act tough, growling out a gravelly Lucifer, like he is the boss. Rue, he just gives him the finger snap encore. Checkmate. Loser. A massive crack splits the sky open, freezing that overgrown lizard in place. Boom. Slash. Head meets delete button. Again. It is like a crappy movie sequel nobody asked for. Shards and salty spray go flying everywhere. The whole world starts vibrating. The beast is basically a walking fireworks display at this point, just melting into smoke and ash. Tower windows just give up, shattering into a million glittery diamonds that catch the light in the middle of the mess. Ban is just vibing, calculating every play like a pro gamer. He knew only Lucifer could handle this giant pile of oversized sushi. He adjusts his frames, eyes glowing with that main character energy. Target acquired. He whispers, cool as a freaking cucumber. "All right, my lady. Showtime." Sudong just smirks, radiating pure confidence. "Fine. Time to wrap this up." Suddenly, this edgy, dark energy hits like a tsunami. It covers the whole place like a storm about to drop the beat. Waves of shadow are crashing in from every angle, setting the stage for the big reveal. A blackout curtain wraps around Sudong, making her look legendary. Even though it is trying to heal, the Leviathan is totally caught in the trap. Glowing magic chains snap on, literally squeezing the life out of it. The monster sounds genuinely confused, like it missed the memo. Its voice is shaking now. It knows this is way above its pay grade. Wait, what is this vibe? Dark energy just gulps down the beast's massive frame like a spill of thick ink. The air turns toxic, heavy, pure danger. Sudong raises her hand and just drops her ultimate skill, black flames. The whole universe feels the shake as the dark ignites. This massive magic seal overhead looks straight out of an RPG. Down below, the dark gets even nastier. A swirling void ready to eat absolutely everything. Zeppa stops mid-swing, totally weirded out by the energy. He is just staring at this creepy power, trying to figure it out. Whoa, what kind of cracked out power is this? Votus just narrows his eyes, completely unfazed by the show. They are here. Bye-bye, Zeppa. The old man is frozen, totally missing the shadow sneaking up behind him. A hidden threat is closing in, ready to pounce. Say what? Dark energy slams Zeppa, sending him into a full-on seizure. He is twitching like a glitched-out robot under that pressure. Vought just watches the torture with ice-cold eyes. No movement, just pure savage vibes. The darkness is everywhere now, seeping into every single corner of the map. The whole vibe is suffocating and gloomy as hell. Ban looks out the window, just taking it all in. He is watching this beautiful chaos with a smirk that says all according to plan. He is treating the whole world like his personal chessboard. All right, looks like things are finally coming up, Ban. Ban is mentally checking names off his hit list. He is slowly piecing together the shards of this chaotic puzzle. Diane and Cha teamed up to finish this ultimate array. The plan hit Zeppa perfectly, creating a lethal enemies-only firestorm. Modia stands there frozen, baffled that his allies aren't even singed. Sudong just watches coldly, pumping the black flames through the seal. Those pathetic demons are getting straight-up roasted. The carnage just proves his theories were dead on target. Taming king-class demons? Yeah, it is actually a thing. They are writhing in pain, clutching their dying bodies. Veins are literally popping all over their faces. Savage spasms of pure agony are tearing them to pieces. Suddenly, Ban's brow furrows. He is suspicious. His dark eyes are swimming with some heavy thoughts. One giant unanswered doubt is still gnawing at his gut. But wait. Hold on a second. Back outside, Leviathan's cold gaze is locked onto Sudong's back. Those dragon eyes are sharp, icy, totally predatory. After a long silence, he finally drops a mocking challenge. His voice is dripping with pure suspicion and malice. Is that the best a lowlife like you can do? He stays stone-faced, silently searching for answers in the dark. His quiet gaze searches the void for some hidden truth. Called it. This circle isn't stopping a real demon king. Ban's eyes go sub-zero as it hits him. The air froze. The enemy's two heavy hitters are still missing. Slowly, a pair of boots steps out from the shadows. Each heavy step makes the air itself stop. Two cloaked freaks appear, grinning like they have already won. Seeing those punchable smug grins gave Ban the major creeps. Something nasty's definitely hiding under that fake-ass flex. For real, who even are these two loser kings backing up Leviathan? Outside, the Golden Gate is still chilling. The camera guy looked all intense, like he knew things were about to get real. He let out a huge sigh, totally bored but low-key curious. 2 months of zero action. What am I even watching? Boom, the wind starts screaming like a literal hurricane. This flash of light just zips past him like a shooting star. He is blinking like a moron, trying to track that blur, then bam, a shockwave blasts him straight back. He crawls up, groaning. Like, what the hell just happened? This giant swirl of pressure just starts sucking up the sky. They ditched for the gate while he's eating dirt. Dude's brain just glitched hard. He's just staring at the total mess. He jumps up, eyes darting around like he's in some high-stakes survival game. For real, what just went down? He's coughing through that nasty smoke. Some glowing wire is creeping toward the gate. Dude is straight up frozen. He's losing it. What kind of freak show is this? Past the gate, that tower is drowning in straight up dark magic. Spooky energy is swirling around the walls like a ghost storm. It is glowing with this weird, alien-looking light. Leviathan's in full beast mode, showing off those nasty fangs. It roars at Lucifer like it is gonna swallow him. The monster just charges in, totally reckless and thirsty for blood. Muscles rippling, ready to flatten everything in sight. Lucifer just scoffs, clicking his tongue like this is all just a huge, boring yawn. He looks completely over it, but his eyes stay sharp as hell. Man, talk about a boss fight that won't end. Suddenly, boom, Leviathan literally explodes into a million pieces, water and light erupting everywhere. It is total, terrifying carnage. But she ain't cheering, honestly. She is low-key panicking. Playing it cool, but her brain is full of dark stuff. Maybe they are winning against this beast right now. Well, at least that's how it looks on the outside. Watching these two monsters wreck each other. Sue's planning her next move, eyes glowing with some scary-ass authority. If this keeps going, the guy is gonna gas out first. I have heard this story before. Leviathan's healing is straight up broken. Such a cheat. Watching it respawn over and over is making her real suspicious. Her look goes ice cold. Something is definitely fishy. How is this thing so ridiculously jacked and tough? Suddenly, Vu's hand starts twitching like it's possessed or something. His fingers curl up, totally on instinct. Something huge is coming. He feels the vibe shift, frowning while his eyes go all dark and serious. He's questioning the weird instability creeping into the air. Is my tank hitting zero? Guess using a fragment of Satan has its limits. Watching the beast flex, Vu's brain goes into robot mode. His inner voice sounds like steel hitting the ice. Yeah, holding on to just a tiny piece of Satan's flesh definitely comes with a heavy price tag. Living on Earth like this, attacks were bound to happen. It is not a fight anymore, it is a race to the death. Suddenly, he spots a fang glowing with some weird-ass light. Deep inside Leviathan's maw, a plan starts forming. That fang is the key, and it is super dangerous. If it can regenerate the satanic body I gave him, this plan might work. But Vu shakes his head immediately, killing that idea. Nah, way too risky. Jumping in now is basically suicide. Too many wild cards. Feeling those two monster auras, his brain goes into overdrive. His eyes go cold, sharp enough to slice steel. He is plotting moves like some grandmaster playing chess in hell. Can't forget those two king-tier freaks on the loose. I am not wasting my precious energy on these small fries. Suddenly, Elle's voice snaps him back. It is like a soft lifeline keeping him from drowning in his own head. In the middle of all that chaos, her worried whisper finally reaches his ears. It is a wake-up call hitting hard. Things look like total trash here. Need a hand, big guy? That really bruised his ego. Dude's face looks like a total thundercloud. He is grinding his teeth, eyes burning with some major stubborn pride. Elle just stands there taking his salty attitude. She is shocked. And honestly, she kind of feels bad for the guy. Shut it, bird brain. I have got this. She gets the vibe, closes her eyes, and just backs off. The air around her turns heavy and super pensive. Then Vu's voice snaps her back, making her eyes pop open with focus. Wait, what's his deal? Guess he is giving up. Vu facepalms, mumbling to himself like some exhausted clerk. Fine. He peeks through his fingers with a killer look. Fine, I am asking. I need some help. Elle freezes. Her eyes are wide with total disbelief. A cheeky, confident smirk creeps onto her face. Copy that, boss. Leviathan is busy choking the tower and screaming like a total head case. But Du and Su have it on a leash with energy chains. Out of nowhere, a divine flash nukes the shadows. Plot twist incoming. The monster chokes on its own scream, bugging out at the glow. What the hell is this? Holy power? It stutters. Leviathan freezes, blinded, as some old-school trauma resurfaces. Oh damn, I completely spaced on the fact that she was actually here. That little sparrow brat, it snaps its massive skull around. Those nasty eyes zero in on Elle. The vibe just went full murder mode. Leviathan pulls a 180, locked on like a missile. Behind it, some dude is cackling like a total nutjob. His eyes are glowing like he just found a free steak. He dives in, no questions asked, ready to kill. Boom, got him. The big freak finally blinked. Now, the monster feels a nasty shiver sliding down its back. It whips its head back, panicking like crazy. Meanwhile, Vu is palming a massive nuke, just waiting to let it rip. Goth energy swirls around his hands, packing into a killer ball. Then, boom, red-hot chains explode outward like burning snakes. He flicks his wrist, sending glowing red chains to wrap Leviathan up tight. No way out. The chains go off, ripping the monster to shreds while it screams bloody murder in absolute pain. R lets out a heavy breath, looking totally spent. Elle, you're up, he growls, looking dead serious. Elle nods, holy sparks popping off her fingertips. Say the word, she whispers, her eyes glowing with pure heat. Out of nowhere, beams of light rip through the clouds, raining down like flaming holy arrows on the freak. Bummel snaps his fingers kaboom. The whole place turns into a literal oven. The monster's body just falls apart. Huge waves of crap burst out of its hide like a dam finally snapping under pressure. Inside the mess, Leviathan's eyes twitch. He just realized something that makes his heart skip a beat. He looks completely shook. This one crazy question starts eating him alive from the inside out. Lucifer, hanging out with some dirty angel? The thought alone is a massive slap to his demon ego. Hell's big boss? Actually vibing with the light? No way. That's straight up crazy. His head is spinning and his hands are shaking. Deep, nasty shadows fall over his messed up, scared face. He spits out denials like a total lunatic, desperate to escape a reality that's crushing his brain. No, this is fake. Just some sick, twisted dream. Then, the beast goes quiet. It's that scary as hell silence you get right before the world ends. He bites down so hard you can hear his teeth grinding together into actual powder. Straight up rage is pouring off him, thick enough to suffocate everyone. He opens his jagged mouth, and his throat looks like a portal to nowhere. A massive roar literally cracks the sky. It makes the very fabric of time and space shake violently. Lord Lucifer wouldn't ever be this pathetic. This angel trash is a lie. Before the freak can even blink, a scary shadow starts towering over whatever's left of his sight. Rue comes in like a literal hurricane, covered in this nasty black cloud of pure wreckage. Zip it, loser. His voice hits like a punch to the gut, shaking the monster's skeleton. Who lied and said I was Lucifer, you giant ugly goldfish? He lifts one hand, squeezing every bit of his juice into one scary blinding dot. His face goes ice cold, and his voice sounds like he's playing God and you're about to lose. Rue screams, and this heavy force just crushes the monster's head. The name's Ruse. Quit calling me Lucifer. He dives right through the beast, smashing it to bits while grabbing its glowing heart like a trophy. Rue squeezes down, bending that stolen heart out of shape with some seriously scary muscle. He grins at the blue glowy bit, letting out a massive winning laugh. Got you, you slippery little jerk. Hanging in midair, Rue stares at the heart, whispering Leviathan like some kind of creepy, permanent promise. When the pressure hits, the heart melts into these pretty magic crystal streams, just floating there. Suddenly, Rue grabs the human-shaped Leviathan by the ankle like a metal cuff. He's got the monster's life right there, deciding exactly how he dies. Leviathan wheezes out some shaky words, making Rue stop dead because he's suddenly super confused. Wait, I get it. You're not him. You aren't my actual Lord Lucifer. Leviathan's face twists into a nightmare of pure fear as he finally realizes the truth. His eyes leak weird colors while veins pop out like cracked glass. He starts shaking like crazy, throwing his arms toward the broken, dark sky. A single name rips out of his throat, echoing through the dark like a nightmare scream. Belphegor. Rue's jaw hit the floor, his brain totally glitching out at this twist. He's looking around like crazy, hunting for clues. Like seriously, what is this madness? The second Ellen Sue heard that, her face went ghost white. She tried to say it, but the name just died in her throat. Belphegor. Up on the spire, Bond's magic just poof. The whole grid flickered and died while he stood there frozen. Dude looked absolutely petrified watching this nightmare come to life. Something nasty zipped across the field toward Rue's chains like a shadow. He could only gasp. Wait, how? That mangled demon face totally silenced him. He finally croaked out, "You're still breathing?" Belphegor. Zigga's creepy warning felt heavy as lead. He's either toast or he found a nastier upgrade. Lord Lucifer, watch your six! Someone screamed right before another killer came flying in. Lucifer got jumped by a second shadow. Rue spun around, heart thumping like a drum in his chest. A fresh nightmare literally just entered the chat. His eyes went tiny once he spotted that mug. He was straight up traumatized. The hood fell back, showing a bald head with two tats pulsing with pure evil. Rue just stood there, stuttering. His eyes were bouncing all over the place. Hold up 2 Belphegors? Inside the tower, Vaughn squinted through the magic. No way. Double trouble, he whispered. Then it hit him like a ton of bricks. A clone? Nah, you can't just copy-paste a demon king. His mind was racing. Duplicating a top-tier demon? No shot. Vaughn was getting seriously ticked off now. Andras, you jerk. Just thinking about his smug face made Bon want to punch a wall. What's the scam this time? Meanwhile, a huge gold portal opened over the city. This massive Titan ship just shoved its way through the gate. Some guy sounded real doubtful over the engine noise. So, this is how they're playing their pieces. He looked at the players frozen like mannequins. Then his voice shook, sounding way more nervous. The demons haven't cashed these players in yet. They're being kept for something way more messed up. Taujin stepped up, sounding like a total boss. The vibe got heavy enough to choke on. Time to get in the mix. Just need a few hands to make this work. He glared right at Vusis. His eyes were sharp as glass, looking for blood. He needed answers, and he wanted them 5 minutes ago. Spill it. What's the move? You're running this show now, aren't you? He rubbed his chin, doing some heavy math in his head. He scanned the room, picking his words carefully. Time to move. It's go time. Grant's just lurking in the back. Hit that sub button and don't miss the fire. Yo, you even hearing me? Bruner spun around, eyes wide like he just saw a system error. June's face was terrifying. Yo, admin. He stared at Bounche, looking completely steamed. Weren't you supposed to be babysitting that magic ring? No glitches so far, mostly. He sounded totally stressed. Point L is bugging out. Don't anybody move a muscle. Chichun went quiet, face scrunching up. His eyes went dark, looking real spooky. Step back. This is way too heavy for you. Belphegor's rushing in like a maniac, eyes glowing and breathing hard. He's thirsty for blood. His clone's right there, laughing like a straight-up lunatic. He throws a punch meant to wipe out the world. 2 giant fists come swinging from both sides. They're targeting you, but Poofy blinks away last second. Boom! Rue jumps back, still clutching Leviathan's skinny neck like a vice. His grip is pure iron, no getting away. Belphegor just smirks with that creepy, evil look. His eyes show he's up to no good. Rue's fuming while his prisoner just struggles for air, just choking and wheezing. Seriously, Belphegor? What is this, a clown show? Rue's acting hard, but he's losing it inside. His mind's a mess, nothing's adding up. Belphegor is the wimp of the 6 kings, whatever. But seeing 2 of them? Total stomach turner. Pure dread hits, making it hard to breathe. The king's just sitting there buffering, trying to process this mess. The plan? Yeah, trash it. You can't just clone a top-tier demon like Bel. It's literally impossible. Leviathan's going blue, drooling and gasping. He wheezes, "Lucifer, you're a fraud. You're not the boss." You sigh, looking totally bored. "Lame. Can't end you yet." He lifts a hand, dark smoke swirling like a hurricane. His voice goes ice cold, sharper than a switchblade. "How about I just shred you like a piece of junk mail instead?" He's choking Leviathan so hard you can actually hear those neck bones starting to complain. A nasty-sounding snap echoes out as he screams in agony. Now his other hand is creeping up to close the deal. Suddenly, this creepy-as-hell vibe just takes over the room. His eyes pop open wide, staring out from the pitch-black shadows like he's seeing a ghost. You can see the pure, unadulterated oh crap moment in his eyes. Just straight-up misery and zero hope left. Then boom. Leviathan goes full water dragon mode right in his face. Those massive swirling coils just delete the guy's grip like it's nothing. Ellen and Soo Young are just standing there, mouths hanging open like they're in some big-budget IMAX flick. They're witnessing some seriously impossible stuff right now. Way up on the tower, she's practically jumping out of her skin watching this madness. His eyes are shaking as the beast finally wakes up. Rue loses his handle on things as the water starts rising. "Yo, what even is this?" he mumbles. Now that he's a total freak of nature, Leviathan starts thrashing around to break Rue's death grip. Huge eyes darting everywhere, looking for the exit. Then he spots his target and banks left with a look that says, "You are dead." A massive roar echoes out as he dives in to eat Belelphegor in one bite. The rest of the crew just freezes, their whole world is basically falling apart. Leviathan's fangs are closing in, and his breath feels like a literal hurricane of darkness. Right as the teeth snap shut, he barely dodges the Reaper. He can feel that "I am going to kill you" energy hitting him like a tsunami. Belelphegor's eyes are literally popping out. He looks like he's staring at a glitch in the Matrix or something. Then, he just loses it. Like total meltdown. You can see the veins in his head practically vibrating because he's so ticked off. His face scrunches up into something straight out of a horror movie. "Leviathan, what kind of trash game are you pulling?" She's standing close by, face all bunched up because nothing is making sense. She's giving them some serious side-eye. She's stumbling over her words, trying to handle the chaos. Like seriously, what is the actual deal here? Watching these two ex-bros go at it in a total bloodbath. Soo Young is just confused, wondering who's backstabbing who. What's the catch? I thought these dudes were supposed to be on the same squad. Out of nowhere, the monster's eyes light up like neon. This crazy blue energy blasts out like a literal wave of power. The whole sky just gets eaten up by this massive blue light Leviathan is throwing off. It's so bright you can't see a thing, it is just deleting the scenery. Rue's over there wobbling, trying not to get flattened by the pressure. The water shield just gives up and cracks into a million pieces with a loud bang. The tower starts falling apart, so Ji-chun has to cover his head fast. He's got this serious scowl on. What's the move here? Meanwhile, he's just floating up there, wrapped in a heavy blanket of shadows. Rue looks up, and his pupils get tiny. He is straight up terrified. That huge shadow is staring back at him from his own eyes, and he's feeling every bit of it. Basically, everything just went south in a hurry. He's grinding his teeth and swearing up a storm. That total punk actually pulled it off. He is back at 100% power. Then, through all that smoke, two eyes just snap open sharp as ice. Leviathan floats up like some god-tier titan, with purple eyes burning like hellfire. 6 flaming eyes, jagged horns, a mouth that screams dead on arrival. The demon dragon Leviathan has officially entered the chat. Ellen and Sue are totally losing it. Their jaws are basically on the floor. You do not even have to ask how they are feeling. This mess was definitely not part of the plan. Wait, did that thing really just gulp down Belelphegor like a snack? Rue is just standing there, brain smoking as he tries to process the scene. He is looking for any reason why things just went 0 to 100. Long story short, that annoying jerk is finally back to his prime. Way up top, the big boss of the Abyss is watching the show and talking to himself. He looks a bit interested, but mostly just annoyed. Everyone else is just staring at that dragon with their heads spinning. It's scary, but also kinda cool. The big bad Leviathan is finally here. Belelphegor is beyond ticked. He is about to have a total aneurysm. He screams so hard his eyes turn red and his veins are literally popping. That yell literally rattles the sky. Just pure, unrefined hate aimed straight at Leviathan. Then, some creepy dark fire starts burning in his eyes. This spooky glow begins eating up the whole area. He bunches up in the air, muscles tight like a coiled spring. He's getting ready to drop a move that might just wipe the whole map. A second later, this weird, creepy energy just blasts out of his core. That nasty light wraps around him like a dark hoodie. Even the air seems to be shaking every time he takes a breath. The vibe is so heavy that Rue has to cover his eyes and step back. He is completely outmatched. Man, this power is on a whole different level. Sparks of pure lightning are literally jumping out of Belelphegor's eyes right now. He is shaking with pure rage, teeth gnashing so hard they might actually shatter. The vibe is getting so heavy it is honestly hard to breathe. He drops his foot like a nuke, shattering the ground into a million pieces. Each stomp sends a massive shockwave through the soil, ripping the world wide open. Belelfagor stares at the beast with total dark mode hatred. Then he drops the ultimate threat, "I'm ending you." He unhinges his jaw, screaming that name into the empty void. Leviathan. That roar is so loud it could probably swallow everything in its way. Elle and the squad are just standing there, eyes wide as saucers. They can't even process the absolute carnage Belagor is putting out. Everyone's got a sour face now, asking 100 things at once. Why are these two even throwing hands? Have these two completely lost their minds? Down on the ground, Rue just rubs his temples, totally over this soap opera. Typical kings, all ego, no brain cells, and zero chill. But then a light bulb flickers in his head with a risky idea. If they keep brawling, it is our perfect chance to sneak in. Then Ruse sees the barrier starting to splinter and flake off. We gotta move now, because that shield is not gonna hold for much longer. Suddenly, a sharp yell hits Jot's ear, making him snap his head toward the noise. Startled and on edge, Lou knew if this kept up, everyone was toast. Inside the shaking tower, Dion's losing his mind as the power rips everything to shreds. The shield is toast. At this rate, Barrier L is going to be dust in no time. Out of nowhere, the city gates start groaning and rattling, sending out some seriously creepy bad juju energy. Down below, some reporter's eyes pop when he realizes he just hit the motherlode of all news stories. His face is a total mess of shock and weird curiosity at the absolute chaos going down. Stuck in the middle of the panicking crowd, the boy's just standing there, staring into the dark. Did anyone else hear that creepy noise? Meanwhile, another kid is grinning at his phone, waving to his followers like he is at a parade. It was such a weird vibe compared to the literal end of the world happening right behind him. Yo, what's up, fam? I'm literally in front of this ginormous, scary gate. The chat went absolutely nuclear. Comments are flying by in a blur of pure hype and no way. Laughing, the kid just scratches his head. Chill, it's not clickbait. Kevin Guild members are actually brawling here. He points the camera back. Check it. That's the Korean leader of Iron Guild. Suddenly, he freezes. His eyes go wide as he feels something creepy crawling up his spine. From inside the gate, a massive foot stomps out, each heavy thud shaking the pavement. The pressure is heavy, making it hard to move. Wait a minute. Look at that famous rugged face. Gasps ripple through the crowd as everyone recognizes the absolute unit standing right in front of them. No way. Is that Taochen? China's top-tier legendary awakener is actually here. Taochen just joined the raid. The news dropped like a nuke, and camera flashes started exploding everywhere. Blinding lights turned the plaza into a strobe light war zone. As the media swarm closed in, reporters started shoving just to get a peek at the top-tier powerhouse. It was pure chaos. Cameras were clicking like crazy, and people were screaming questions at the top of their lungs. A wall of mics and voices filled the air, making the tension sky-high. The press buzz and clicking shutters were a deafening roar. Everyone was losing their minds over the sudden, epic arrival of the legendary Daochin. "Sir, over here. Please, give us just 1 minute for a quick interview. Mr. Tao, tell us what's going down inside that high-level dungeon. Why are you out here alone? Where's the rest of your team?" They kept pelting him with questions. "Is Kim Jigu still in there? Give us an answer." All the shouting made him stop. He looked dazed by the sheer size of the mob. His eyes froze, overwhelmed by the hungry tidal wave of questions. He looked super confused. "Wait, was that about Kim Jigu? You idiot, ask him in Chinese." Amidst the blinding flashes, Tao Chen just stayed silent and serious. He frowned, scanning the crazy crowd with the sharp, calculating eyes of a veteran fighter. Then, in front of the stunned crowd, he threw his hand up and roared a command. His voice boomed with such authority that everyone went dead silent. "Everyone, shut up and listen. I have only one thing to say. This situation is way beyond dangerous. It's a total disaster," Tao Chen barked, his face turning into a mask of pure, uncompromising steel. His heavy aura forced everyone to hold their breath. "If you idiots stay here any longer, you are all gonna die. Beat it! Seriously, everyone needs to vanish right freaking now before this barrier goes nuclear. This zone is basically a tomb, and the press? Complete morons, just standing there with zero thoughts behind those glazed eyes. They totally ghosted his orders like absolute scrubs. Rut was screaming his lungs out, but they just froze. Tuchin's jaw hit the floor. Seriously, what clowns? Ignoring certain death just for some clicks. He was livid. They had no clue. His eyes went sharp. Time to go. No plan B. It's all or nothing. Then boom, this neon bolt just shreds the sky. It zipped by, rattling the air. It smacked the gate right over him. Talon was stuck, totally shook by that speed. Pure chaos. The whole crowd watched, horrified. People scrambled while the pavement quaked. His heart skipped. Death was breathing down his neck. Meanwhile, up on floor 60, the gate was waiting. Jigu was hacking into some legendary loot box. Pure light blinded him when it cracked. System ping! Ren just leveled up into Fenrir. Gold eyes, sharp teeth. He jumped and ripped Belelfer's throat wide open. Straight up slaughter. The demon let out a scream that would chill your bones. Like, what the heck is that thing? Rue just watched, shaking at the gore. Not a soul could move. Io was stuttering, his voice trembling from pure terror. Totally lost for words, trapped in a freak show. The boss is back, and he is starving. The beast's roar rattled the walls. His eyes popped. No way this was real. Just pure, unadulterated anger pumping through his veins. I mean, what kind of crazy is this? Red strings started spinning in the dark. The trap snapped shut with a creepy vibe. Leviathan figured it out way too late. He was snagged. The threads locked him down. Game over, pal. System check. Brunil's brain is finally hitting that next level. Her power just spiked. Blood went everywhere, leaving the bad guy totally blind. He choked, life draining out in seconds. Jigu took a swing, taking the beast's head clean off. It was raining red. Jigu is a straight-up animal. He checked his blade, looking for more. Ding! Bernal just became the Dragon Slayer. A frosty machine ping rang out, pulling Rue back into this nightmare. He focused up as his real self finally synced in. L stood frozen when the system called them out. They were vibrating half scared, half hyped for this crazy plot twist. Link to L is green. Meanwhile, back at the city gates, everything was going completely sideways. This huge pop-up appeared, making everyone collectively choke. Connection to L is officially back online. Deadly red strings burst through the sky, building a web of death. The air got thick with pure, nasty dread. Bang! Jigu just straight up deleted the Leviathan with a single lazy swing of his blade. Metal flashed, blood flew, and everything went quiet after that absolute flex. Jigu glared at the ping, ready for the next alert. Runert just gave this boss-level smirk. Relax, everyone, the main character has finally entered the chat. Ren pounced, buried his teeth in Belelphegor's neck, and made a beautiful, bloody mess. The beast howled in pain. Seriously, what kind of freak move is that? Suddenly, he reached for his hip, showing off claws that said game over. Belelphegor lost it, swinging a rage-filled fist through the agony. Ren felt the heat and torched his core, sparking a firestorm. He missed completely, hitting nothing but air. His face looked totally confused, like a real glitch in the Matrix. Belelphegor ground his teeth, voice shaking. How? No mercy, Ren didn't care. He just turned his whole body into a lava fountain. The sky went bright orange as a wave of insane heat just ate the entire battlefield alive. In seconds, the Titan was stuck, mummified by glowing lava. Molten rock crushed Beligor's throat, making his eyes pop with rage. He threw his head back and let out one last sad-as-hell howl toward the sky. That sound was pure depression, giving everyone major goosebumps. While he screamed, the Leviathan's head just turned into literal dust. Grit rained down, making the whole scene look like a disaster movie. Even as a pile of trash, the beast's brain was buzzing. It just stared, probably wondering which insane cheat code just ended its entire career. The heck happened? Did I really get smoked by a human? Then Zoo showed up with those wings, triggering a core memory. Its eyes went wide as that trauma hit like a truck. Hang on, some random dude sliced me while just walking past? Hating the idea of dying, the monster tried to stitch its soul back together in a desperate panic. Its body twitched in this pathetic dance against the end. I have got to heal up before I am literally history. But then the Leviathan felt something majorly glitch out. Its eyes bugged. Why the hell is my auto-heal not working? Down there, Rue watched the head chop in absolute shock. He stood like a statue, unable to compute that level of god-tier power. His brain just hit a wall. That strike landed before the system even had a chance to sync up. That one frame is burned into R's soul for life. He could not even speak, just drowning in shock. That feeling is stuck forever. Dude literally just clapped Leviathan's cheeks without breaking a sweat. 0 assists needed. Straight solo leveling god mode. Then he hits us with that smug I am him grin. You could see the word winner etched into his pupils. No cap. The guy was oozing confidence. Rue just stood there staring at Zoo's ice-cold face, absolutely shook by that legendary aura. Man is back and he is built different. Master. Yo is over here basically glazing him with those anime hard eyes. My lord, Sudong smirks, acting like some mysterious edgelord. Talk about a cinematic entrance. Then Zoo speaks, and everyone shuts up. The whole squad turns around, looking confused as hell. Miss me, punk? He growls. Then he just yeets a massive Leviathan fang. He gives them the death stare and drops the command. Catch this thing. Rue grabs it, looking like a deer in headlights. Dude was legit short-circuiting. He hesitated, having no clue what Zhu was on about, but then he saw the loot and went tiny-eyed. He finally felt the weight of it, realizing that holding this giant tooth was some next-level menacing boss energy. Ruse tries to ask something, but he is literally shaking from the heavy vibes. Zhu just cuts him off. Eat it. He is grinning, but those eyes say do it or die. Down the hatch, no cap. Rue gives him that bombastic side-eye. Suddenly, Rue just snaps and starts laughing like a psycho. He crushes that fang into dust. Yeah, that is the feral energy. Io comes charging in all worried, acting like she needs to protect him. Master, I got you. But then Zhu drops a reality check. She froze solid. Yo, I have got a side quest only you can handle. He is looking off, locked in on the plan. Her voice was shaky as hell. People are still out there. Then go get the skeleton squad back here right now. Grab the griffins and the mantises. Everyone out of here. Full send. He stares Ella down, being dead serious. That look was so cold it basically stopped time. Every word felt like a punch. You got this? She just smirks like a boss. Bet, my master. Just like that, Ella pops her wings and takes over the whole damn sky. She turned into a blur of light and vanished. Left us with a sonic boom and a bunch of stunned faces. Belagor is absolutely down bad, stuck in a pit of spicy lava and gritting his teeth. His flaming eyes are darting around. Literally one wrong move and the dude is gonna shatter into a million pieces. Pure salt and rage, he winds up his arm ready to crash out. He lets out a roar of pure, unfiltered hate. You really think you are escaping me, Brett? Belagor swings his massive, terrifying mitts right at her. Those giant fingers claw at the air as his roar shakes the ground. You are done, you arrogant little prick. Suddenly, bam! A rain of sword energy turns him into a pincushion. Every blade just shreds right through his demon skin. He flinches hard, eyes looking for an escape route that is not there. For a second, his heart stopped. Pure horror. The big guy's body was basically cuffed to the floor by that spicy magma. The lava held him like some cursed chains. There were like 100 ice blades stuck in his burnt skin. Honestly, he looked like a demon crucified in a dumpster fire. Reality finally hit him like a cold shower. He could not move a muscle. Wait, why are my arms glitching? He is gnashing his teeth, giving Jigu the nastiest death stare ever. His eyes were wide and thirsty for blood. Like, how does a human even have these types of hacks? Master of two elements? The kid just stood there looking cracked. Belugor just froze, screaming, "Who is this?" in his head. Then Sudong's voice suddenly snaps Jigu back to reality. She has got this creepy, calm vibe going. Hey Jigu, need an assist? Or am I just watching the show? She bows a little but looks annoyed. Since when do I need permission to do stuff? She laughs, thinking about the past. Lame, she whispers to herself. Only last year, I would have one-shot this trash with my pinky finger. Sujang's eyes glow with a bit of pride. Like damn, who knew Jigu could flex this hard on everyone? Standing in the middle of all that rubble, Jigu looked like a certified absolute unit. Is this the Jigu show now? Looking at the monster's tail lying there, Suyung is like, need help or what? Jigu did not even blink. We gotta charge this shield up before things get messy. The air was buzzing. Once the boss spawns, it is cooked. Jigu looks at the mess and calls a quick huddle. All right, squad, eyes on me. Here is the plan. Elder, quit being away from keyboard and help us out right now. He looks at Sujung like, don't sell now. You in or out? She just shrugs. I will give you a mana boost, but don't hold your breath for miracles. Zichin pipes up like a total buzzkill. Look, this is not going to be easy at all. Even with us, you have got 60 seconds tops. Actually, scratch that you have got 30 seconds. Don't screw it up. Jigu just smirks. 30 seconds? Plenty of time for some easy claps. He looks at the monster bits, doing the math. Even shredded to bits, Leviathan still talking smack. Filthy monkeys playing with matches. It sneers. Suddenly, this nasty blue neon goo starts leaking out, working like some forbidden superglue from hell. Monster parts start clicking back into place like a demonic Lego set. Boom, tails fixed. Bro's literally using cheat codes. Leviathan roars like a total sore loser. One lucky hit doesn't make you a legend, you hairless little punks. Back in the city, a massive pillar shoots up like a giant "we are screwed" signal. A hole rips through reality and two figures step out, ready for war. Then, a whole squad follows, ice cold. Plot twist, they are all skeletons in designer gear. Dead, but making it look fashion. The locals see them and absolutely lose their minds. Bone soldiers and griffins? Yeah, time to haul tail, people. Please, guys in the back are just standing there, totally wigging out. What is that, a monster? Call the cops. Pure bedlam as everyone tries to escape the splash zone. High above, someone's watching the whole circus unfold. Quit shoving, move it or lose it. She is dying to jump in and save the day. But a voice in her head slams the brakes. Forget the peasants. We have way bigger fish to fry. I will deal with the wounded. Keep your head in the game. Everyone else? Get out while you still can. The stranger stares her down. Got it. Hammy bows like a total suck-up. Loud and clear, boss. Below, Zubin and Tao Chung give the thumbs up. Roger that. Even the skeleton crew gives a ghostly salute. Since the big man said so, I will play nice, for now. But the nightmare? It is just beginning. Out of nowhere, a swarm of savage mantises charges. Leading them, a dude in a suit looking wedding ready. High up, a giant eagle has got a terrified human in its claws. Absolute madness. Like, excuse me? Those giant bugs start hunting, treating us like snack-sized appetizers. People are losing it. Save me from these freaks. Zubin is screaming for everyone to fall back, but nobody is listening. Panic is running the show now. Meanwhile, two idiots are actually busy gossiping. Is that Chairman Senna, or is it the famous Miss Flower? High up, Elle is trying to keep this disaster from boiling over. The air is thick with nonstop screaming. What is even happening? Whatever. Just run. Suddenly she freezes, hit by a massive shockwave of pure energy. Ella looks back, her gut screaming that something massive is coming. A skyscraper-sized pillar of blood-red fire erupts, swallowing half the city. It clicked instantly. Her master's real fight finally started. Inside the flames, Jigu grips his massive sword, thirsty for blood. Electricity rips through Leviathan's gross, tangled body. Jigu smirks. Get back here right now. The binding thread snaps tight, making the beast howl in agony. Then, the rope lets go and sets it free. Suddenly, the necklace on Zigu's neck glows blindingly bright. The beast glares. He stopped? Is this kid looking down on me? Its rage explodes. How dare a lowly human mock me? Cut to a dark room where a creepy tail slams the wall. The support team is pouring in every ounce of juice. Sudong sighs, totally wiped. 30 seconds, that is all I need. She looks at Zigu's face and realizes he will finish it in 3. Don't overdo it, she warns the team. She knows if they push too hard, the barrier will shatter. Like a storm, blades impale the screaming monsters. Belelfigor is dazed as a light flashes between its eyes, binding them both together. Time basically grinds to a halt. Inside that barrier, a dark skill awakens. Absolute cannibalism. Meanwhile, Hem is carrying some guy who is blushing like a tomato. Never thought I'd be here, he thinks. He is honestly just starstruck. First time getting princess carried, and it is by a literal angel. But his heart stops at the horror behind. Trembling, he points and screams in pure fear. Angel, look out! Right behind you! Hamon whips her head around to see the threat. Everyone else freezes, turning to face the new nightmare. Yo, they finally noticed. The barrier is totally toast. Everyone is losing their minds, thinking the same thing. Is the boss even alive? The veil is getting blurry. Even the skeleton spirits are rubbernecking now. Citizens and bugs are just frozen. The people getting snatched by eagles? Their jaws are on the floor. The soldiers below are losing it. Her eyes are literally glowing. That big baddie? Gone. Just poof. Mist is clearing out. The war is officially over. Those two freaks? Gone like a bad text. Poof. The magic wall just got uninstalled. That sunset is hitting different today. For real. Zubin and Talon? Totally paralyzed. It is straight up raining blood out here. Gross. Then comes the stomp-heavy boots. Zu lands, wings just vanishing like smoke. The AI says he devoured them. No cap. His blade is actually snarling. Cringe, but cool. That 2-month grind was a nightmare. Everyone showed up for the loot. Plot twist, everyone vanished. Gone. All we have left are these trash, grainy phone vids from a broken barrier. That is it, period. 60 seconds of straight horror. The place looks like a literal demon's backyard. Massive footprints from who knows what. Kimji is on the run. Major yikes. Dead eyes slipping into the portal. Shield is back up. Someone is down there sobbing, totally wrecked. Guards are like, yo, Cap, you alright? Cap is just zoning out. Mind is completely toasted. People are losing it. Rohan, James, and Roger, shook to the core. Rohan is a mess, crying his eyes out. The master is back. He tells him, good job, kid, then adds, time is up. Rohan is bawling but grinning like a maniac. He finally caught the vibe. Time to delete Iron Sun from the server forever. Smash cut to this insane skyscraper HQ for the Rich Kid Global Player Association. Some guy in a $5,000 suit slams a table, losing his cool. Are you hearing this crap? He yells, neck veins popping. The Euro Council Prez is ready for war. In that one raid alone, he screams, voice sounding like a dying cat. Like 10,000 players got bagged, and you are already itching for more blood? Seriously? He gets right in his face, dead serious. Have you finally lost your marbles, Chairman? The top dog, some white-haired dinosaur, does not even blink. He is the chairman, the guy pulling all the strings. Kim Jigu is a straight-up terrorist. The fossil spits back. He is a virus. We do not talk to monsters. The Euro guy sneers. That is just your fan fiction, old-timer. Honestly, I do not think he is the bad guy. Is it just me? Or is his most wanted tag totally sus? We are watching you, Chairman. The tea is spilling, old man. You cannot control the whole association like a game of Sims forever. Dead silence. You could literally choke on it. The Emperor finally opens his mouth ice cold. Fine, what is your price? Talk, the rep snaps. Make Kim Jigu a real player. We need to play nice before everything burns down. The Emperor laughs. Live together? Sounds like you are just giving up, honestly. I call it not being an idiot, the rep fires back. Or did you forget the millions of people in the crossfire? The meeting is a dumpster fire now. Suddenly, the Pope claps his hands loud as a shotgun blast. Everyone chill for a sec, okay? The Emperor stands up. Whatever. This circus is over. The meeting is adjourned. Boom. All the suits go running like rats out of the room. Emperor is just sitting there in the dark, watching them run. His brain is basically a maze of shady plans. He is thinking hard, eyes closed. Then bam, they snap open. The whole vibe in the room gets heavy instantly. His eyes start glowing blood red, like pure evil energy. Creepy as hell. Down in the garage, a weird energy portal rips open. Some girl hits a button and lights up the whole basement. Gold light just explodes everywhere, hitting some unconscious guy's face while he sleeps. He wakes up, smelling the magic in the air. Then it hits him. Susanoo jumps up, gasping for air. There is a ton of people lying there, totally silent. Two weirdos are looking down at him, grinning like they found a toy. Susanoo is like, where am I? Ao is staring him down with this super weird look. Is this the guy? Taochin smirks. Yup. Meet the absolute unit of the game, Susanoo. Seriously? He looks totally lost. Yeah, it is definitely him. Legend says Susanoo does not do small talk. Get moving. My boss is waiting. Susanoo walks out in those old-school wooden sandals. He leads his team straight through the shimmering portal. Susanoo is looking around, totally confused. Did he just warp into a luxury car showroom? What is this place? Shiny cars everywhere. Susanoo's brain is literally lagging trying to process this. Even the cars look sus. He narrows his eyes, smells like a trap. And look, Captain Delaware is here, plus India's top beast, everyone is in the house. Even that big Korean guild leader showed face. Susanoo is starting to think something huge is about to go down. So, why is every heavy hitter on the planet in one room? Ding. Elevator hits, doors slam open. Delaware's squad struts in. 3 dudes are already there. Jigu's like, yo, can you guys even hear me? Total. Susanoo smells cap. This isn't basic. Nothing's normal here. Jigu grins, about to drop some heavy truth bombs. Face goes cold. Listen up, he warns. It's huge. He drops the hammer about Iron and those Kavan creeps. Everyone sits. Now, the real tea. Demons, the Iron Sun Alliance, it's all getting spilled right now. Phony players, demon spies, and that trash elixir scam. Since these guys are floor 50 vets, he skips the fluff. Some are shook. Others look ready to kill. Finally, the dots connect and they start nodding along. Doubt is everywhere as things wrap up. Jigu nods to L to kick the VIPs out. They leave absolutely dazed. Room's empty. Lou looks at Jigu. You serious? We're just gonna let them bounce like that? Chill. I just sparked some major paranoia. Jigu knows rumors spread like wildfire once they get out. Now they'll stalk those guilds, not us. Anyway, how's the demon eating going? Is the kid still digesting? Those two were a massive mouthful. Suddenly, this weird glow starts leaking right out of Jigu's chest. Brun Hut rolls in looking like a glittery fairy. She's roasting Rue. Little Rue was cuter, she jests. He explodes. Zip it, you bug. Zhu snaps back. Rue, playtime's over. Spill it. What actually happened at L? Don't say nothing. Rue just smirks like a prick before he finally decides to talk. Master treats a literal world war like a trip for milk. Seriously, he went beast mode and just walked back. Lim hucks with Grigori now, playing top-tier tracker. The room goes silent as Zhu drops the official intel report. That fake Demon King's currently building massive barriers with his allies. Angels do the exorcisms while the big dogs brawl. Oh, Dao-chan wants to talk privately later. Zhu's baffled. Wait, with me? Flashback time. Taichin was literally begging him to save the entire country of China. Back to the crazy vortex inside Grudo. Thanks for the ear, Taichin says, being all polite. Zhu just shrugs. Don't sweat it. We're even. But then, Zhu sees something super weird behind the old guy's back. It's Votus, staring at a chessboard like some brainiac. Just a quick game with Lord Votus, Taochin explains. Zhu's brain is buffering. Since when are they besties? He coughs awkwardly to kill the weird vibe. Whatever, enough chatting. Back to the mission. Real talk, something dangerous fell into some very bad hands. China was a beast long before the towers even popped up. It's not just because they're huge. It's those legendary ancient martial arts. Everyone thought that stuff was just total fiction and myths. But once the gates opened, the meta shifted. Turns out those old moves were fueled by pure mana. Zeus starts connecting the dots, mind racing. Back in the day, it was just some wild conspiracy theory. But now it's all clicking. The war between Cronus and Gaia literally built the Earth from scratch. So their leftover energy hanging around here was a total given. Still, it's just a theory. Regardless, there's a million reasons to hit China, specifically with those shady Cavan Guild creeps lurking around in the shadows. Plus, I owe a solid to some guy with a cool beard. And that's how the China Association got wrecked by demons. Honestly, even the chairman probably got body snatched by those freaks. Tan is desperate. He's building a squad of loyal players, a rebel army to snatch their home back from hell. Tuchin, I'm begging. Join our rebel squad. Together we'll kick them out and finally free China for good. Zhu goes quiet, his brow furrowing into a deep, intense frown. Then comes the actual bombshell. Getting into China is basically a suicide mission now. Since you're burned, everyone thinks we're already joined at the hip. Tuchin stroked his majestic, legendary beard and finally spoke. He was right. Using planes or warp gates was suicide. Can't we just pop a gate like you did earlier? No can do. I haven't set a stable anchor there yet. Luckily, Advisor Kim tipped me off about a secret back alley gate. Take that path and we'll land exactly where we need to. I can mask my identity easily, but you? You're a walking neon sign. Touch countered, asking if simply covering up was off the table. Like, what if I wear full armor and a helmet? Zeus shut it down. That'll just make people stare more. Look, skipping a few IDs is one thing, but rocking that sketchy vibe is basically a VIP pass to Interrogation City. He locked eyes with the legendary chin carpet on the old man's face. If only you didn't have that massive beard. Pops. The old dude went ghost white like he'd seen a reaper. Tauchin scrambled back, clutching his face fuzz like a cornered beast. Not my precious Blackie. We have been together for decades. She is worth way more than my actual life, man. The air turned sub-zero, while those two just stared each other down in total, heavy silence. Moments later, a shaking Tauchin finally cracked. Fine, I will do it. I will sacrifice everything for the nation. Tears streamed down his face as his body shook uncontrollably. Just shave it clean and please. Try not to make it hurt. That is when Zhu realized he might have actually broken the old guy's soul. He finally found his voice and spoke. My bad, man. Had no clue that beard was your whole world. Zhu decided to head into China solo for now. He would lock down the perimeter before opening a gate for the squad. A brand new day hit the city skyline. Crisp morning light flooded the skyscrapers under a sky that was, honestly, perfectly clear and blue. Deep inside the Gregory Underground hideout, the hidden hub, a hyper voice, echoed through the massive multi-purpose hall. Yo, player Jigu, it has been ages since we have seen your face around here, my guy. Shan Hun, the slick secretary, waved some BBQ tongs. You have been blowing up all over the internet lately, haven't you? Chozyong, the Blue Stream Guildmaster, flashed a grin. Yeah, it really has been a long time, dude. Morningstar's Kimang B jumped in too. Seriously, ZGU, we have actually missed having you around the place. Meanwhile, that food paparazzi Go-chan was just busy stuffing his face. Su stood there totally confused as he walked in. What is all this? Are we having some kind of secret meat party? Shang just smiled as he answered. It has been nearly 3 months since the squad linked up. You want the grilled pork belly yet? The crew roared. Even Gregory's top elites were eating like absolute savages. Hey, filling your belly is a top-tier buff, right? Shan Hun stood up, totally hyped. He grabbed a chair like a throne. Listen up, you animals. The boss is paying. Take a seat, Zug. Eat first, then we talk serious shop. Time flew and the BBQ massacre finally ended. Every plate was licked clean. Straight heaven. Hun wiped his mouth. Business time, boys. No world-ending news to report yet. We're still ghosting the Kavan Guild's tracks, neutralized a few rat holes, but they're scattered and twitchy. Tough targets. Plus, we have got one more massive headache to report to the rest of the crew. The government's been blowing up our phones. They want the guild on a leash. Chairman O kept them happy that's over. Hung Chan chimed in while picking his teeth. The game's changed. The suits are sweating. With L rising, they're nervous. They haven't crawled to Iron or Kavan yet. I ghosted their HQ personally. They are totally clueless. Qian laughed, shaking his head. National security is thin as wet paper. Jigu processed the intel and barked orders. Hunchina is trashing my schedule. Take this. I am putting the circus in your hands. Copy that. How much info leak? Jigu smirked, plotting. Bring Lohan tonight. Time to play our hidden aces. Show them who actually holds the power. He looked toward Trang Rang. What about Blue Dragon and the Morning Star? Any word on them? They ghosted the raid. We're benched. They think we're traitors for surviving. Shank remembered that tense meeting and sighed. Of course, Lohan set that trap up perfectly. Jigu just nodded his head in agreement. We will clear our names soon, just play it cool, don't trigger any alarms. I see, the other guilds got lucky. Guess his suspicions are on ice for now. Yo, Jigu, you actually heading to China? Does Noros know too? Chion's blunt. I was waiting for proof. In China, they are actually cloning Beligor. It is a total bombshell. A nasty purple light ripped through the sky, humming with some serious eerie power. Ellis stands by Rue, heart racing. Master, is it really okay to leave us behind? Jigu just sighed. The future here is too unpredictable. You two stay safe. The gate is one jump away. Don't sweat it. Granherd flexes. I will guard him. Relax your pretty heads. Rue smirks. Yeah, that is exactly why I am worried. Who you calling a kid, Rue? You're just a brat. Jigu laughs at their petty bromance bickering and plays peacemaker. All right, enough. Play nice. The mission officially begins. Mask on. Final check. Disguise protocols fully engaged. Jigu waves them off. Catch you guys on the flip side. The scene shifts to a desolate, empty wasteland. Towering peaks pierce the clouds in majestic glory. Jigu lands and looks up, totally awestruck by the view. Welcome, Tauchen says, acting all smooth. This is the front line of our glorious resistance. We're staring up at endless stairs. The sign says Shaolin Temple. Brun just gasps, totally out of breath. Her head is spinning. Even Jigu is floored. Shaolin? Seriously? I am actually standing here. Like right now, an eagle dives out of the clouds. Follow me, my team's ready. Sunlight filters through the canopy under a perfect blue sky. The Grandmaster doesn't waste time. So, you're the son of Kronos? Jigu just freezes. Total brain melt for 5 seconds straight. A whole crowd starts circling him in the courtyard. High-key tension. Jigu frowns. What is this? How do they even know Kronos? Every single face around him looks like it was carved from cold stone. The monk holds a dead serious ritual pose. Years ago, your father blessed China with something incredible. We don't forget that. Kronos and those pioneers are our eternal legends. I'm the abbot in charge of this sacred temple. Jigu just blinks, trying to process. He's talking about my old man? Brun exhales a massive sigh of relief. She legit thought we were about to scrap. The abbot bows, real polite. It is an honor, young man. Jigu bows back. I'm Jigu, a player from South Korea. The blue-haired girl chirps in, and I'm the one and only Brun. The monk's vibe suddenly goes cold. Look, we owe your dad everything, but that is different. We aren't handing our future over to a total stranger. Tauchen snaps, barking right back at the master. Listen, I've said it a million times, that's no way to treat a VIP. Master stays chill, nice try, but no proof? No deal. Then he drops some truth. You don't just hand out trust like free candy to people you don't even know. Tauchen starts whining again, but the master shuts him down in a heartbeat. Relax, everything is going to be perfectly fine. Jigu feels the vibe and asks, So, what's the price for this trust? The master smirks. Glad you asked. You'll need to prove it. He growls, brute force, no more talking. In this place, only martial arts can decide what is actually true. Jigu just lets out a massive, tired sigh. So predictable. Why is it always a fight to the death with these dudes? Brune, though? She is absolutely loving the drama. Oh, jackpot, this is going to be straight up gold. Fun fact, people who talk like that usually end up in a box. Jigu rolls his eyes. Brun, do me a favor, back up. Facing the master, Jigu just shrugs. All right, fine, I'm in. Let's get this over with. But then he points at the whole squad. Leave everyone else out of it. Just take me on all of you, at once. The master blinks. Excuse me, what? The entire crowd just freezes. Their brains have officially stopped working. Total silence. They're all looking at each other in pure shock. Even Tauchen is tripping. Wait, did he really just say that out loud? Say what? The master finally lets out a dark chuckle. Bold move, kid. He starts unbuckling those heavy brass bracelets. Veins start popping across his beefy arms. His voice drops into a low growl. Seems you never learned the difference. The difference between confidence and a death wish. Clang. The heavy weights hit the floor, one by one. They smash into the stone like a funeral bell. Jigu stares at the metal chunks. Wait, what are those things exactly? Training weights. The master surges with raw energy. These are mana-suppressing shackles, boy. We don't just use flashy moves. We forge our spirits. We sharpen our bodies and minds with these heavy iron rings every single day. He says clearly, we won't hold back. Prepare yourself. Jigu doesn't even flinch. He just lets out a bored, oh. A sharp grin spreads across his face. I get it now. So, is everyone here wearing those heavy things? He throws his hand out into the empty air. Reality itself seems to shake. Massive pressure fills the entire room. Zigu's weapon manifests in a roar of wind. Tentacles start whipping around everywhere, moving like they have a mind of their own. The energy tendrils snatch the bracelets off every single soldier in an instant. The guards stumble back, shaking. What is this? They stare at their bare wrists. My bracelets, they're gone! Scores of metal rings fly high into the air like metal birds. They rain down like a hailstorm right into Jigu's waiting hands. He catches them all and clenches his fist, ready for war. If you're going all out, I'll use your handicaps too. Game on. Those rings on Jigu's arms start rattling like a death knell. The Zen masters are just watching. Their jaws have completely hit the floor. This was definitely not in the plan. Even Daochin is sweating bullets, stammering, "Wait, what's he doing?" Behind him, the other monks are just as clueless. Finally, the head monk snaps. "Fine. You want it? You got it." He's done talking. He starts charging his energy, snarling, "Prepare to pay for your insane arrogance." His eyes flare with pure white light. Then, boom! He lunges forward, moving so fast he literally tears the wind apart. He flies straight at Jigu's face. But our boy just stands there like a statue. The master's face is a mask of demonic rage, teeth gnashing, fist cocked. He was ready to end this kid. He throws a lightning-fast punch. A massive wave of energy explodes towards Jigu's head. That punch was moving at literal Mach speeds, but Zhu just hits the casual lean and lets it breeze right past him. Easy. Zhu catches the master's arm, killing all that hype in 1 second. Then he gives him a get-out-of-here shove that actually ripples the atmosphere. The concrete just gives up, shattering into a million jagged pieces that fly everywhere. Dude's grinding his teeth so hard they might snap, trying to choke back the agony. But his eyes? Still locked on the win. Zhu hasn't moved an inch from his spot. He just lets out this massive, bored sigh. "Look, I thought I told you guys to jump me all at once." Then comes that classic main character smirk, pure, unadulterated arrogance. "If the message finally clicked," he says, "then stop wasting my time and everyone catch these hands together." Up in those old-school misty peaks, right where the birds were just vibing 5 minutes ago, the whole squad swarms Zhu like they haven't eaten in a week. But our boy is just chilling, ready to headbutt the chaos. They finally stop holding back. Snake-style blades are zooming everywhere. Triple cuts, fists that could level a skyscraper. It's a total ultimate move spam fest. This one guy busts out 13 lotus spear strikes. Meanwhile, another monk's sword is literally glowing with that blinding holy juice. Everyone dumps their finishers right on Zhu's head. This long-haired dude is leading the charge, swinging his sword like a complete psycho. Zhu just grins, winding up his arms for the ultimate flex. One tiny flick of his wrist later, and Longhair is basically in low Earth orbit. Catch you on the flip side, man. The guy's still trying to stand up, refusing to just take the loss like a basic NPC. Sucks for him, because he gets clapped again and actually stays down this time. Another monk didn't even see the punch before it turned his lights out. All he can do is flop around trying to avoid the hurt. Then the realization hits. Zhu's been 10 steps ahead since the first bell. Hold up, is this whole brawl just math to this guy? Metal slams into metal, sending sparks flying like a 4th of July show. They bounce back, but that spear tip is literally smoking from the friction. Move it or lose it, damn. You're blocking the way. The guards are losing their minds. How can we not even tag this guy? Back up. If you get close, he'll read your thoughts. Taichin is just standing there watching the absolute carnage, his brain totally fried from the shock. This isn't just some new talent. This is straight-up god-tier energy. The Zen Master's eyes catch fire with that do-or-die warrior energy. He starts throwing a flurry of bone-breaking punches at Zhu, but the man doesn't even blink. He just slips into a perfect counter stance. His eyes are following every tiny twitch with that cold-blooded, laser-like focus. These two absolute units clash head-on, sparks flying everywhere. Zhu winds up a punch that's packed with pure, uncut disrespect. One solid hit sends the master flying back like he's a rag doll. The power is so insane the old guy can't even find his breath. Teeth clenched, the master breaks out in a cold sweat. This kid isn't just talented, he's a whole different species of monster. Looking at that cocky face, the scary truth finally hits home. He's downloading everything we've got. He's soaking up our styles in real time. But what they don't know is Zhu's playing a much darker game. I'm this cracked because I literally eat my enemy's skills. Every scrub he beats just becomes another tool in his box. He remembers the cold-blooded advice that shaped his whole journey. Put your life on the line in a scrap, and those moves get burned into your DNA forever. Out of nowhere, the rings on Zhu's arms light up with this insane celestial glow. Then, poof, gone as fast as it came. He clenches his fist and the energy gets sucked right out. The rings go from glowing to looking like scrap metal. All that stolen juice? Gone. Then a massive explosion rips through the center of the Shaolin temple. Smoke's pouring out, hiding the absolute mess he just made. Zhu just shrugs. Whoops. My bad, master. Didn't mean to break your stuff. He walks out of the haze looking way too main character. So, That's a pass, right? I'm officially top tier now? The vibe suddenly shifts as the sun hits the wreckage. One quick thrashing later, and everyone's attitude does a total 180. The monks are bowing low now, looking at him with this new holy crap kind of respect. Morning to you, great hero Morningstar. Thanks for the schooling, great hero, they all shout at once. Every single eye in the courtyard is glued to the living legend. That great hero title is echoing around like a victory song. Grunhut pokes her head out from the side. What's a great hero even mean? Zhu just laughs and gives her that smug, I'm the man grin. Basically just a fancy way of saying I'm the boss. Tucked under his gloves are those secret translators Hong Chun built. Honestly, Golden Hero sounds way more fire. Why'd they pick this weird name? Guess I'm stuck being the Morning Star hero forever. Big cringe. Inside the Abbot's private room, it's total peace and quiet. The old master solemnly lifts his tea, finally breaking the silence. Welcome, great hero. Zhu is sitting there cringing his soul out. That title is such overkill, he just closes his eyes and lets out a sigh. Can we just skip the formal stuff? Please. Without wasting a second, Zhu gets right to the point. Man, this secret's gotta be massive if they're keeping me in the dark. The Abbot's voice gets real heavy. We're talking Shaolin's biggest mystery here. You ready? He asks. Hero, you ever hear of the legend Bodhidharma? Zhu just gives a casual shrug. Yeah, I've heard the name around. Big deal, right? He's the OG, the Abbot explains. The source code for every fight style on the planet. Suddenly, an image of the man hits eyes like voids, face hard as granite. While the old man's talking, Zhu cuts him off, eyes wide. Wait, so these kung fu moves, they're basically just pure mana hacks, aren't they? The Abbot takes a slow sip of tea, then gives a tiny nod. Spot on. The closer you get to the origin, the harder that mana hits. Look at our Shaolin techniques passed down to the worthy few. Grinding those moves lets you tap into the rawest power imaginable. Zhu's thinking, if that's the case, then this Bodhidharma guy, he must have been a straight-up beast. A total god-tier fighter. The legend's shadow starts looming large in Zhu's head. But okay, let's ignore how mysterious he was for a second. Why build that kind of heat just to leave it behind? The Abbot gets dead serious, staring right into the kid's soul. The stories say he lived right here in this exact room. Zhu freezes. His jaw literally hits the floor. The old man's voice slices through the quiet. Shaolin's been knocked down and rebuilt a dozen times over the last 10 centuries. But this room? Untouched. Not a single stone moved. Honestly, Shaolin only exists today to keep this one spot safe. He finishes his tea and stands up slow. Then he turns toward this massive, dusty old bookshelf behind him. His hand lingers over some scrolls. All right, hero, I've got something absolutely insane to show you. He yanks one specific book from the shelf. All of a sudden, the whole thing splits apart like some high-tech secret entrance. Zhu is freaking out. The wall slides open, and this blinding wave of emerald green energy just explodes into the room. The pressure is so heavy, Zhu jumps up. His eyes are huge, totally glued to that glowing green light. Is that? He stammers, staring at the wall. He's completely floored as his brain tries to keep up. No way he's wrong about that. It's an insane level of raw, ancient power. Light pours out of the vault, filling the whole room. Dang, this energy is absolutely cracked. The Abbot admits this place is top secret. Bodhidharma built this thing ages ago. Zhu's like, wait, why are you showing this to some random stranger? The Abbot's blunt. Because, kid, only people with the right vibe can get in. Confused as hell, Zhu reaches for the gate. His hand touches. Nothing. The Abbot backs away. See? Even I'm not allowed inside. He confesses that after their fight, he knew Zhu was the one. Zhu steps toward the swirling green vortex. While the old man watches, Zhu reaches out. Boom. His fingers just slide right through the energy. Zhu looks back, stunned. The Abbot nods. With a look of pure fire, Zhu dives in. The Abbot whispers, go get him, Morningstar hero. You're on your own now. It's quiet outside, but his voice echoes. Until now, only one legend ever survived this. Inside the vault, Zhu is moving fast. He's locked in, eyes icy. Then, a hallway darker than a nightmare shows up. This place is massive, no way it fits in the temple. It's pitch black and the path just drops off into nothing. His brain is working overtime, figuring out the physics. Is this some spatial distortion hack? No, it's something else. He stares at the glowing portal. It's a teleportation gate. It links this room to some hidden dimension. Zhu goes quiet. Building this back when mana was low? Literally impossible. And the pressure here is just totally cracked. Bodhidharma wasn't just some monk. He was a straight-up god. Suddenly, a voice booms out of nowhere.